All right, sorry about that, guys. There was some type of lag that caused us the restarts. Like it dropped everybody at the panel off the panel, and at the worst time too. Like Mac was going to ask Ben a question, so I'm gonna have to, invite everybody back. Sorry about that, guys. Let me put the prompt back on. Let me invite some people. Let me put a background. Let me put a background. Sorry. That was the worst timing, Mac. You were going to ask him a very good question, and then it happened.
Easy. It's so easy to back vegans into a corner.
All right, what's your age? What's your stance?
I'm 20, and I got my opinion on my stance before you came up with the prompt photo. I was reading your comment.
What was my com? Oh, okay. But are you pro life?
Sorry, what? I think you covered your mic.
Are you pro life or pro choice?
I'm pro-choice.
Okay, why are you pro choice?
I had a question for you if that was cool.
Sure.
No, he asked you a question.
Oh, he said he was cool with me asking one, so I'm gonna go ahead
I'll
and
allow it
continue.
very briefly, right? But then I want to know why you're pro choice. But sure.
So you are no exceptions, right?
No lethal terminations. Yes.
So I don't. Okay, I hope this isn't rude. I can't tell if you're a woman or a man by your voice.
I would say it's really irrelevant.
Well, I would say, well, it is relevant because I'm making a hypothetical here.
This is going to fall under identity fallacies.
Anyway, if you got raped, would you carry through with that pregnancy?
Yeah.
No.
Host, you said yeah.
Yeah.
And I said no.
Yeah, for the host, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, because I think unaliving people is
As
immoral.
someone who someone gives exceptions, right? Sorry, as someone who does give exceptions, what's going to be the argument?
You say?
No, I'm asking her, for someone who gives exceptions, what's going to be the argument that he should not carry the child?
I have a lot of reasonings.
Well, what's your argument for abortion just in general cases, then? I did answer your
Um,
question, so like answer mine.
yeah, no, for sure. Just that it's extremely subjective, and I don't think the government should have
Going to be
control over
another
that.
claim. Not an argument.
I honestly feel like I could give you the big three.
Wait, hold on. I didn't age check you yet. Yeah, that'd be another claim that's everything's subjective.
I'm already begging the question.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to grant you that everything is subjective. Moral morality, I'm not going to grant that. I need a argument that supports this assertion.
Hold on, let me think about this for a second.
Wait, no.
Even if it
Morals-
was, I don't see how it would lead to a pro-choice conclusion.
Morals
How
are
would be
really
what?
subjective.
Even if it was, I don't see how it would lead to a pro-choice conclusion.
How what would lead to a pro-choice
And then
conclusion?
they're going to have to establish why morality is subjective or how it's subjective.
Because everyone believes in certain. Everyone has their own beliefs in what they believe is wrong and right.
Question. So just to be clear, are you saying that because people have a difference in opinion on certain matters, it somehow means there's no truth that exists?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Well,
But
is it
there
true
is
that is it true that facts would exist outside of one's mind and preferences?
Yes.
Like it's a fact that if I, let's say, pour gasoline on the floor and light a match, it's going to cause a fire. What if my next door neighbor John doesn't believe that?
Well, that's facts over feelings.
No, that's like comparing apples and oranges.
I don't know why this guy decided to interrupt. Go back on mute. So you agree that facts are going to exist outside the mind, and regardless of like one's preferences or opinion about the matter, this doesn't negate the truth of the situation, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. How would you define morals?
I'm not really sure.
Would you say morals are actions that concern impact to others?
I agree with you, Simi, but can you ask that again?
Simi wasn't even part of the conversation, but I'm asking, would you say morals are actions that concern impact to others?
They can.
All right, cool. Is it true that certain actions would bring like worse off states for the individual or like better states? When I mean by worse or better, it can be like meant to flourish the individual or create a sense of deprivation for them. Is it true that there are like immutable characteristics to which we do these things? Let me break it down simpler. Yeah, let me just break it down simpler. Is it true that if I punch, let's say, Error in the face, it's going to cause harm to him? Harm could be different things.
Yeah,
Like,
that's all you had to say at the beginning, but yeah.
yeah. So like if I punch Error in the, like, not saying I would, but like if I punch him in the face, it's going to bring harm, like physical depravity, or like him being like in the worse off, like mental state, right?
I don't know about mental state, but yeah, it would cause.
Is it true that I
physical
should not
harm.
punch Error in the face? Like obviously self-defense is going to be a different
I've
argument.
said
but, like,
this like 3 times. Yes, no, you should not do that.
okay, fine. Why should I not do this action?
Because unless given a reason, that would be wrong.
Okay, what's going to be the argument that punching Error in the face is wrong?
Because you're physically harming someone.
Fantastic. So if you agree that morality is going to be actions that impact others, actions that concern impact to others, and there's going to be certain things in which would be done to a person or a group that's going to bring off like a worse off state, is this going to be objectively true that if I were to do this action, it'll hurt Error?
Yeah.
So that's going to be objective, that if I did this action, it's going to put him in a worse off state. So if you agree that morality is going to be actions that concern impact, you would then say that there are going to be certain actions that are true, right? That would do such things to people or groups, right? So therefore, morality is going to be objective based on those metrics. What you're talking about is a feeling, right? I agree that people's feelings are going to be subjective, or like how a person interprets said actions is going to all be like subjective. But like morality is not necessarily like dispositional. It's just going to be like certain things in which would do these actions, or like stuff in which would like bring worse off states to a person. So yeah. Sorry, Era, I had to use you as a.
No, you're good, bro. I mean, yeah, you could use me, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Protect, I'll just answer real quick. Like, there's a live that She's pretty popular, actually. She has like orange hair. I think her name is like Nemo or something. She literally had to invite her friends up to debate me, and I still spanked them in a 3v1. Jordan saw it, I think.
Oh
Oh shit.
yeah.
What
Yeah,
panel
it
was
was
this?
cookie. Yeah, it was cookie.
Jordan can send it to you. They blocked me, but it's I think her name is like Nemo. She has like tons of followers, but like yeah, they literally got destroyed.
Wait,
Oh, her,
I
I
went up
fucking
after
hate,
you.
bro. I
I went
fucking
up after
hate
you and
her.
they
Oh my
blocked me
god.
too. So.
Yeah.
What
Huh?
was that, Jordan?
I said they went. I went up after you and they blocked me.
Yeah. Wait. Was it the live where with that guy Alex? Was he debating like name?
No.
No, that was
No. There wasn't any guys. It was like a girl called Geeked or something, and then it was on the panel from Nemo. She's like a popular creator with orange hair, pretty girl, but yeah, they blocked me because they were literally getting destroyed by me. So yeah.
Wait,
Eric,
so
have you
wait,
talked to
y'all,
Moss before?
Who?
I think her name's Moss or Moz.
Oh yeah, I think I have. Yeah, I've also I think in my opinion kind of destroyed her, but yeah.
wait, so y'all know about that Alex guy with like that blue thing in his like profile picture?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I got him to concede that we can unalive like unlimited Trevor Wall trips earlier. It's pretty
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. I heard,
fuck.
yeah. That's a stuff game. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have to continue that after this conversation. But like, yeah, Matt can continue. So what was the next question, Mac? Where was the point we were at? Okay. Oh, the harm being objective. I think that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so if harm is objective, I'm assuming Mac is like you'd be causing harm to the child inside the womb, right? That'd be objective. You think that harm would be permissible to commit?
Dan, I know who you're talking about. Nemo, I fucking hate that bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, she's fine, but she just can't debate.
You know, when I hear certain people talk, it feels like my IQ drops like at least 10 points. Like my IQ is
Yes.
originally like 125 to 130, but after listening to these morons, I think it's like an 85 or 90.
Some people are smarter than others, but that doesn't always make you right.
Well, either way,
Well, sure. I mean, like it doesn't always make you right, but it'll make me mostly right, and that's what I care about.
Most of the time, we're right. Yeah, especially
It
like
also raises your
really
ego.
bad pro-choicers.
either
Like
way,
really
It
bad
can only, it
pro-choicers are
can.
just
Well,
horrible.
the thing about being like intelligent, it can do that because the person has confidence in what they're talking about, but that's not always the case. Like there's a lot of smart people out there that are humble.
Well, confidence and cockiness are two different things.
Well, the
Right.
thing
I
is,
mean, I would. Yeah. They
well,
are.
the thing I dislike the most is like, for instance, like some of these pro-choice people, they can't even like track an analogy. Like, so for instance, they'll say, "Oh, for instance, this is a conversation I had earlier. I said, oh, you know, if you're pro-life, you automatically care more about the fetus than the mother." I illustrated how this doesn't logically track by saying, you know, if I have a dog and I just let my dog unalive in the sun, and someone comes up to me and say, "Hey, you shouldn't do that. That's immoral." That doesn't mean that they care more about dogs than people. And they lost their mind. They thought I was comparing women to dogs, and I got killed.
like
Exactly.
wait, hold on. That's what Chase was saying in that live with that Alex guy. Is what he was saying. It's like he just values it enough not to be unalive. You're not saying about
Right.
it.
But
Well,
people
either
can,
way, yeah. Either way, let's get back to the conversation with Pay. I was trying to say something.
Oh, not this guy again. Fuck. God damn it.
Yo, what's up?
Not you, Scott. God
I
damn
was
it.
about to say,
Yeah,
yo,
no,
that
you're
was
good.
that was hilarious. The last time I was on live with you.
Okay, I have one last question before we get back to the debate, and it's a question for the guy in the top left because he probably knows about this. But do you think it's worth it for me to learn like Aristotelian ethics, like virtue ethics?
Yes, I think you should. My buddy Plasma's running that
Oh,
stance. It's pretty.
I know. Yeah, he's my buddy, bro. I was talking with him on live about it. But yeah,
Yeah. See my argument is I guess you could say it's cookie cutter in a sense, but like I word it uniquely, which makes it come off as like, but yeah, it's just flow
yeah,
plus
I see.
column. Just a basic cookie cutter argument.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, but I want to eventually learn something like virtue ethics and neo-Aristotelian accounts of flourishing because, I mean, dude, that's just probably going to be like a more based position, maybe.
wait, are you a virtue ethicist?
I'm, man, don't throw up when I say this, but I'm probably like a negative rule utilitarian.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm more of a threshold deontologist.
I was gonna be I was a threshold deontologist, but then I became a virtue ethicist. It helps meet people like where they're at, because it's not saying that people have to commit to like objective morality. I mean, yeah, objective morality. You could be a subjectivist and still uphold to like virtue ethicism, which is based.
Yeah, but I also
You
think
could
like
also,
wouldn't it like a moral realist like wouldn't we run better with like with threshold deontology?
Yeah, and I am
I
a
will.
moralist, but I think virtue ethicism like helps us ground closer to like our intuitions.
I
You
will
know,
say I'm an anti-realist, but I'm just like a fictionalist about utilitarianism. Like I don't think utilitarianism is objectively true or something like. I just think that it's like the best, like it's the system that mostly aligns with what my like preferences and outcomes are gonna like be instantiated into the world. If that makes sense.
But why should we care about your preferences? Okay, that's a story for another day. Let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
Yeah. So, Mac, where were you at asking her? You were saying like harm is objective, then. Yeah, we were questioning your stance about morality being subjective. Um, um,
I do think it's important to note the prompt doesn't really like logically hold up. Like, I think circumcision, irregardless of your stance on AB, is I don't see any way to justify circumcision.
After this conversation, like, pray, now do you understand, like, do you still hold that morality is subjective from what we explained? Even
Who
if
are you asking? Are you asking Scott?
no, pay, right? Even if
Oh,
morality is, yeah, even if
she's
morality,
a subjectivist?
yeah, she said abortion is permissible because morality is subjective.
Oh no. Hey, wait
No,
a
I
minute.
didn't. That was not my conclusion.
oh God.
Then what was your conclusion then?
Those were,
Hey,
we had a
we
long
got this.
conversation,
Don't worry.
and that was the words
Let's
that he
Wait, but
let's
nitpicked
just
out
ask.
of mine.
you did say something was subjective. So like, what's your conclusion then?
We were talking about like morals, if they were
Okay,
objective.
hey, let's just ask you this. Okay, do you think morals are subjective?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, so you're not a moral realist. Okay, so let's just verify that real quick. Do you think that raping a woman for fun is objectively wrong?
Yes.
Okay, that means you're a moral realist. You're not a subjectivist. If you believe that there's at least one true moral statement or one true moral fact, then you
You're
are
right,
a
you're
moral
right.
realist.
Base, now
Yeah.
you're pro-life, right?
No.
Ah, you're
Unfortunately.
halfway there.
Yeah.
Pei is going to be an abolitionist by tomorrow.
No. Yuck.
She learned about deontology. Whew. Cook.
Pei, once you learn about that categorical imperative, it's going to be over.
There's animalism argument, bro. Cooked.
Oh, my animalism argument is so based. It's literally 5 premises, and it smuggles in you being committed to personhood starting at conception. It's so based.
Okay, yeah. So like, I think we discussed that, but how would abortion be permissible then? Even if morality was subjective, why should we subscribe to your subjective view?
I mean, that's kind of a long discussion, but I mean, the most simple way possible is like, you're just going to agree to certain things at the start. Like, hey, you don't want contradictions in your view, right? And the other person is going to be like, yeah, I don't like contradictions. Perfect. You agree that like, we shouldn't just harm people for like, unintuitive reasons. Like maybe, like people that wear green hats should get unalived. You're like, oh yeah, that's not morally relevant that they're wearing a green hat. Sure, they shouldn't get unalived. And you're like, okay, well, we agree on these things. Now we can, just check to see if your principles are consistent across other domains. And yeah, and you could try to maybe like enlighten them with new facts. So maybe originally they might say like, well, mores are subjective and I disagree with you on A, B. But you could say like, okay, well, did you know about the fact that a fetus can hear and recognize its own mother's voice? They were like, oh shoot, I didn't know that. Now I'm actually kind of convinced by that because, you know, it appealed to my emotions and my intuitions, and I've, you know, now I actually agree with you. So
Right.
kind of like that.
I disagree. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
something
will
along
say
those lines.
the personhood. I mean, that's the personhood argument is like that's sort of a necessary mechanic to my pro-choice argument. So like the fetus can be parasitic towards the mother, or you know,
No.
trying to cause intentionally causing harm, and so
No.
that's why it's justified to be unalived.
Okay, we'll get to that after. But again, like, why
Did you say
pay? Why
no?
is
When I
actually?
say no,
I mean, it can't be parasitic, but we'll talk about it after. But pay. Why does this
can't be parasitic.
What you say?
I'm really fascinated to see like how you argue it can't be parasitic, but yeah, continue.
Wait, do you know what a parasite is? Can you define a parasite?
Yeah, I mean a negative. But usually in science we define it as two different organisms or
Might be
species.
parasitic-like behavior, but that doesn't.
In,
That
in
doesn't.
this case, I'm saying it's between the same species, but one organism negatively affecting the other.
And in
It's a net
virtue,
negative
Wait,
relationship between two organisms.
wait. How would it not?
That's
How
the
does it not
definition of
apply
parasitism.
out? How does it not apply outside the womb? Because like
exactly.
the
With the
child.
mother breastfeeding it, for example, then it would also be a parasite because it, you know, breastfeeding doesn't cause any good things for the mother. Just takes her resources.
Not necessarily. I mean, so again, it's all based on measurement. How do you measure the fetus being parasitic? How do you measure a baby outside the womb being parasitic to the mother?
You could just say that when the mother could, you know, get an infection, that's going to be risky. It takes away her breast milk. It could, you know, make her like expel calories and resources. So it's taking things from her, and she's not getting jack shit back.
Would
So
you?
it's to be
Are
a
you?
parasite.
Let's
Are
just say
you?
hypothetically that
But that.
breastfeeding.
Hold on. You're making a horrible argument here because I would assume most mothers would not agree with you. They would say, actually, I want to keep this other organism alive. It's
What if she
providing
doesn't want to?
lots
She's
of
no.
mental
What if she's like, no,
benefit.
I'm in the middle of reading my magazine, my Vogue magazine. I don't want to breastfeed right now.
Wait,
Yeah,
can I?
again, if that's how a mother feels, and in society, and let me finish. Hold on. In society, we feel that the measurement of parasitism at age whatever is, you know, you're obligated once this baby is breathing or whatever measurement we as society agrees upon.
Seems like special pleading.
That's how you
Careful,
define
careful. That
Well,
really
I
smells
mean,
like special pleading to me.
Wait,
You're
why
just
would
the
I
invite
be
anyway. Cheers,
breastfeeding?
folks.
I just would. I think it all is special. I mean, I don't. Any other argument would also be special pleading. I don't see any other.
No,
Necessarily.
you
Wait,
could
You
just
want me
you
to
could
tell
just say
you
it's
why
not
it's
a
not a
parasite.
parasite?
Then you don't have the special
We
pleading.
could we
I'll
can
tell you
talk.
exactly why it's not a
Well, but then I
parasite.
would ask you how you define
Hold
it
on, we
not
could
being
talk.
a parasite.
Yeah, we can talk about simply just pregnancy. This is a new like argument I've been working on. So, if the fetus is a parasite, let me ask you this, Scott. What happens during ovulation? What is the purpose of ovulation?
When the woman has an egg available,
Yeah. So what? Yeah. Why does the body go through ovulation? For what purpose?
well, probably for the potentiality of reproducing.
Okay. Perfect. So if you're saying that the woman's body once a month is actively trying to receive a parasite, you would be calling the woman's body an objective failure biologically.
You're still not. I mean, no offense. I guess you. I mean, I don't know if I didn't explain my argument well.
No,
I'm
but how is
arguing that the fetus, based on how certain biochemical measures I've looked at. I'm not a biochemist, but definitely I look at I think what a lot of biologists might deem important. Fetuses can be mutualistic and commensalistic as well. Actually, majority of the time they're at least commensalistic. So the parasitism is not, it's like 40% of the time. It's
Wait,
not all
You
the time.
you do realize that it actually gives to the
Hold
mother.
on. If you're saying it's communalism, by definition, it's not parasitism.
Commensalism.
So that defeats your own point.
No, that there are three different types of biological
I
relationships.
know.
It can
but
be
like,
parasitic,
I
commensalistic, or
know,
mutualistic.
I know. But if it's communalism, then it's not parasitic by definition.
Commensalism.
Yes, but if it's that, then it's not parasitic. So you're claiming.
That's what I'm saying. It has a potentiality to be both.
No,
Wait,
it
so you're
can't.
saying, right, let me just
Do,
clarify.
do you not
It's not a
understand the entire?
parasite, it just has
No,
parasitic
wait. That's
tendencies.
the contradiction. You can't be both. It's
Oh
either
my god.
parasite or not a parasite. It can't be both.
Exactly.
No, it can either be a parasite, it can be a commensalist, or it can be a mutualist.
But you called
No.
it simply a parasite.
No,
Exclusively.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if it is a parasite, then it's justified to be unalived.
But it's not a parasite, therefore not.
Yeah, the
It
issue.
can be.
Okay, so
Yes,
what
it
Jordan?
can be.
Hold.
How
Like what
is it a
Jordan said.
parasite when it gives to
Hold
the
on.
mother?
Yeah, back to
No,
what
no,
I
no.
said.
But like
Well,
what Jordan is
A lot
saying
of
is
times
like
it doesn't.
I'm also going to do the
what
same
Jordan
thing.
what Jordan said is this is the only time in biology where we see an organism literally prepare to have a parasite in it. Why would the body prepare to have a parasite and prepare to accommodate for it? Like that'd be crazy.
Exactly. You'd have
I'm
to be
saying
called.
That's
it's
not
not
counterintuitive.
prepared.
Wait,
That's not true.
hold on,
You do
before you guys
realise
get
that
into
a
it,
fetus
guys, hold
actually
on.
gives
Love
stem
God.
cells to the mother.
Wait,
It gives
hold
stem
on.
cells to the
reason-
mother.
I know it does. I'm not saying it's a parasite.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
saying it can
Error.
either act as a parasite, a commensalist, or a mutualist.
Do you
There are
have
three-
any citation for this claim? You're just making
Absolutely. yes.
Hold on,
So-
fuck, dude. Could I just
yes.
ask my question? You brought me up
Yes.
knowing what I said in the comments, brother.
Yes,
Please.
yes, bring it up. Yes.
Error. You were obviously either agnostic or somewhere in between. Would you like to be a moderator on my formal debate panel on Sunday, 10 p.m. EST? I need a third moderator. I mean, not a moderator. I'm sorry, a judge. I need a third judge, and I do not have one currently. And I'm just looking for one that is.
Sure.
You lean probably more pro-choice and shit like that. But I do have.
I
a debate
actually
coming up.
lean
Meatball's
slightly
hosting it.
pro-life, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could.
Would you be
I could,
willing
I
to
could
do
do
that?
You
I
said
can send
Sunday
you like
10
the debate
p.m.
card. Yeah, there's like it's no 10 p.m. EST specifically.
Okay, so 10. Oh, yeah, I could do it. Yeah, I'm in Spain. I'm on vacation. In how many days is that? In 2 days, right?
I mean, right now it's 2 a.m. for me Saturday, so it'd be in a day and like fucking. I'm not doing the math, dude.
Okay, no, yeah, it's in like in a day. Sure, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I could. It's being the moderator
Nearly
and a
2 days,
judge.
It'd be like 44 hours from now. No, not moderator and a judge, just a judge. I said moderator by accident.
Oh, okay, so just a judge. So just like after the debate,
Yeah,
saying
and
like,
I'll
okay,
send you
who
like
won?
I'll send you like the scoring card and shit. If you have Discord, I'll hit you up on Discord. I'll send you the scoring card,
Awesome.
the metrics by which you judge, and then like there's gonna have to be modifications made to the scoring card because of the format of the debate. It's 5-minute openings, hour open discussion, 5-minute closings. The scorecard has different, obviously like different metrics, but
Are you
we would
hosting
just
it?
cross out certain ones. No, I'm not hosting it. Meatball's hosting it. If you know who that is.
Yeah,
I'll just follow you and
Avai,
then you
I
can
have
send
you-
me a link.
Avai, I have you on my other account. You can go look at my other account. Avai, you know what? Here, I'll give you the follow. I'll just tell you what my other account is.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll
sweet.
follow you,
Alright,
man.
I'm only on
back
this
to-
one so that I don't get bananaed prior to the debate.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm just asking because I really need a third judge because the third judge canceled on me and I have no
Yeah,
one
sure.
else. And if anything, Error would be against me and he would be more leaning against my opponent's position. I am pro-life, but I thought you were more pro-choice. Given
I
our
lean
previous
slightly
interaction.
pro-life. I acknowledge that both sides have good arguments, but my intuition is slightly more pro-life. But yeah.
Alright,
Okay, I got you.
We'll continue. Scotty.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, draw me. I gave Error a follow. That's
Alright.
all I came up to ask. I
Yeah,
needed,
sounds
like,
good. Yeah,
someone
I
that was
got
more
time for it. Yeah, I
pro-choice
can do it.
leaning or
Yes,
agnostic.
Alright,
I appreciate it, brother.
Alright, so
Alright.
Draw me.
Alia, what's your age? What's your stance?
Me too. I'm pro-life, or not pro-life. Oh my god, I'm pro-choice, but I'm anti-circumcision.
Is that?
Yeah, so Scott, how is the woman's body not objectively?
Wait, hold on. We'll get to that after. So I think you had questions at the prompt. So depending who they ask, like, if you believe in bodily autonomy, right? Circumcision will be taking the bodily autonomy from the mother, right? So like the child does not consent to this procedure being done. And by the way, this is legal in all 50 states. The female equivalent of this is illegal in all 50 states, I believe. Thankfully so. So like this would be, if you do believe in bodily autonomy, right? Why would you support this action?
Oh, I just said I'm anti circumcision. I'm actually a L&D and postpartum nurse. I obviously can't tell patients what to do, but after the mother has the baby, I give some information on circumcision, how they can lose 10,000 to 20,000 nerve endings. I give tips on how to clean if they don't choose to go that route. I'm definitely against it because, like you said, the baby doesn't have the choice whether or not it's painful for the baby. And frankly, the thing for saying like, oh, it's less risk for infections, this and that, it's kind of wrong. You know what I mean? As long as you keep it clean, right? It has the same amount of chance of being healthy as a person who is circumcised.
Oh, then at least you're consistent there. But besides that, why are you proposed?
I, as a healthcare professional, I just believe that I should mind my business on what someone does with their body between them and their healthcare provider. But like Eric said, I'm pro-life for myself. Like I could never, and certain things that I think are pro-life as well. However, I just stay to my own and mind my business.
It's not just their body though.
But that still has nothing to do with me. I don't know the medical standpoint on every patient. I don't.
So your ethical and moral framework is, well, if it ain't got shit to do with me, it's okay.
It's just not. I can't deem whether or not they deserve to have an abortion or not.
Of course you can.
There's certain exceptions or certain circumstances with the life of the mother. You just never know.
Okay, so let's take the majority, that being 98%, which is obviously elective, right? So the 2% are the rare, cases of, medical complications, shall we say. Let's go with the 98% of elective abortion, just meaning healthy baby, healthy mum, just doesn't want it for financial reasons or doesn't like the dad or whatever, right? You're okay with that?
Yes.
See, I'd have
I
to
might not
disagree.
agree, but again, I don't have the power to tell them yes or no. Especially as just being
Well,
an RN. I
no
don't
one on
have
this
that
panel
medical
does.
ability.
It's down to the law. But
Do you have the power to stop people from abusing their dogs?
That depends. I mean, if you have certain resources.
I mean, are you like a voter? Are you American? Are you a voter?
I am.
So yeah, you could vote to stop this.
How do you feel about pregnant women drinking alcohol?
I don't agree with it.
Why?
Because if they're continuing the pregnancy and drinking, that brings birth defects and other complications that can happen in the pregnancy.
What about if they're going to abort? Do you think it's okay then?
I mean, if they're aborting, then they might as well just abort instead of prolonging the chances of complications.
But what about, so are you saying it's okay then? What if they just start downing bottles of vodka? Is that okay?
I don't think it's okay, no, but that doesn't mean I have the room to
but why
control
then?
what they do.
But why? Why are you not okay with it?
Wait, you're talking about if they were already aborting or if they were keeping the baby and still
If
doing
they were aborting.
Who stole my foreskin? Where's my foreskin?
Hey, yo.
What the fuck? But so, if they were going to abort, you'd be fine with it then? Binge drinking.
I mean, I still feel like it's wrong for, the life of the mother as well because alcohol is a blood thinner. There's other complications.
Yeah, but I'm talking about for the kid here, the fetus.
Then, I mean, that's not something, the baby's already going to be aborted.
Okay, so you're fine with it then?
I still don't think it's right in general.
Yeah, but why though? Why do you not think it's right?
I just explained it.
No, you didn't.
Even outside of the life of the baby, it still brings complications to the life of the mother, possibly.
So you don't agree with binge drinking in general then? You think we should get rid of binge drinking?
You can't really get rid of binge drinking.
No,
I
but
don't
we're having a discussion.
Hold up. When we're saying you can't do something or you can't do it, we're saying should it be illegal? Because you keep saying, well, I can't stop it. We're not saying can you physically go and stop people from getting ABs or stop people from beating up their dog. My question is, you're against people beating up their dog, so you'd want it to be illegal, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're also against ABs, so you would want it to be illegal, presumably.
Pro-lifers would, I wouldn't.
Oh, because
Why?
Because
well,
I'm
wait a minute.
pro-life for myself.
Wait,
I'm
what?
pro-choice.
This is like so like
Did she not just say that earlier? She
She just,
disagrees
yeah,
with
she
ABs. She thinks
conceded
that
to
they're
a
wrong.
pro-life position. I
No,
think
I
she's
did.
just socially
Like, there's
pro-choice.
certain
It's
things, but
like
I'm saying I'm pro-life for myself. Like, I could never have one.
That's just
okay,
pro
but
choice.
wait. Why would you not ever get an abortion?
Because I would personally want to have children.
No, wait. I'm not asking like personally you would want to have children. Like I'm asking like, do you think that there's something that with regards to abortion that is wrong?
She just answered your question, by the way. But
There's certain circumstances where I don't agree with abortions, yes.
Okay, do you think that in those circumstances, other women should not have access to abortion?
I guess it depends on the circumstance.
I'm saying the circumstances which you think, which you think it's not okay to get an abortion, do you think other women should have access to abortion in those circumstances? The ones that you disagree with?
I would just say no, just because no case with abortion inpatient care is the same.
Okay, so what are the circumstances which you disagree, which you think that abortion, like, which you would never get an abortion? Like,
Well, I wouldn't, just in general. So for my part, unless you're talking about other people, that's different. But I'm saying for myself, I would never have one.
But wait, which
yes.
cases of abortion are morally wrong?
Yeah, in which cases of abortion is it wrong?
Like, obviously, maybe you think that, like, in grape cases, it's okay. We understand grape cases, but maybe if you're saying, like, maybe when it's just related to money or something like that, maybe
Yeah.
those cases are wrong and she shouldn't. So which ones are wrong?
Like well, never mind. I was just about to say great, but those are exceptions. Like for instance, I have heard women getting abortions just because of the fact they found out their baby had Down syndrome.
Okay, you think that's wrong?
Yes.
Okay,
What about for
should
money
we make
purposes?
should we make it illegal? Okay, should we not allow women to get abortions if their child has Down syndrome?
I would partially agree, but then
Okay.
again, like I said, nothing is ever the same in circumstances with with cases of patients, so I really can't generalize it.
We're saying for healthy women who are pregnant with a baby with Down syndrome, take it off the table. No abortion for them. Do you agree or disagree?
I believe the right to choice, but I still disagree with it.
Okay.
I actually
fine.
side
So,
note,
but you think it's wrong, correct? You think it's wrong, correct?
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay. Do you think graping 5-year-olds is wrong? Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay, but what about some people's right to choice because they want to grape 5-year-olds?
How is that the same thing?
Yeah, because you're saying you disagree with X thing, which is wrong, but you don't mind it being legal, and I'm just positing another thing which you disagree with because you think it's wrong, but like we should just make it legal because like some people might want to do it.
No, that's definitely not the same.
Okay, so what about here's okay, let's
Totally different now.
It's a valid analogy, but I'm gonna make it a closer analogy so maybe you could understand it. Let's say that there was a mother who wanted to get a lethal AB at 8 months, which means, you know, the baby's gonna be born in like 2 weeks. She wants to get a lethal AB. The baby's gonna be able to feel all of the pain. You would disagree with that, right, Alia?
Yes.
Should a woman have the legal right to choose that? Please don't say yes, because that would literally lead you to a crazy position.
I was about to say I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. There's literally no morally relevant difference between an 8-month-old fetus and a newborn. Considering the fact that there's no morally relevant difference, I don't see why that's a hard option for you. Anytime we're talking about unaliving a living, sentient human that's going to be able to feel the pain and it's innocent, innocent is a little bit intuition pumping, but listen, that should be a clear no. I mean, how could you ever even say that that's a maybe?
I didn't say maybe. That
You
just
said
out of
maybe. No,
curiosity.
you said I
You
don't
said
know.
like
Yeah,
maybe,
the
comma.
You said I don't know. Maybe it should be illegal to unalive a
Wait,
living
Dan,
sentient
Dan,
human that's going to
Dan.
feel all the
I
pain.
think
I
I
didn't say
think
that for 8 months.
What's
Yeah,
your
you
I
did.
cutoff
think we
then,
need to give
Aaliyah?
her some.
What's your
You
cutoff?
just did.
Wait,
What's
wait,
your
wait,
cutoff?
Dan. I think we need to give her some grace. Yeah, I think she said I don't like full stop, and then she was like no.
Wait,
I think
Aaliyah, what's
Yeah,
your
I
cutoff
Maybe.
then?
I don't know.
I didn't say
I don't
maybe.
know. Okay,
I've
Alia, let's just.
delivered babies that are born at 8 months. I think no.
What's your cutoff
Okay.
then?
No.
Yeah, I
And
think
should it be
I think she
illegal?
was
Should it be
saying
legal
no.
for the
She
woman to have the
was
choice? No, it shouldn't, right? Because that's wrong. Now, if you believe it's also wrong for her to just get it for financial reasons at 3 months, well, why does that all of a sudden become legal?
I think the laws go based off of, or are you talking about my personal
Your
belief?
personal.
Like
yeah.
if you were the queen of America, would you make that a law on the books? Like, yes, we're going to make this illegal for a woman to just get ABs for financial reasons at 3 months,
No, I wouldn't make it illegal.
even though you think it's wrong.
I didn't say it was wrong at 3 months. I said it was wrong at the
So
8
where's your cutoff then?
Yeah,
What's the
what's
cutoff?
I would say once the baby's considered a fetus, that's where my
That's
stance
like
So
at
is.
9
9
weeks.
weeks.
That's like at 9
literally like
weeks.
So
yeah,
at 3
like
months.
9 weeks, dude. Yeah.
Wait, no, not 3 months,
Like,
2 months. Excuse me.
but
That's
that's
like
my
at 9
personal
weeks.
opinion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
8 or
9
9
weeks.
weeks.
9 weeks is when the cutoff is. Yes.
So at 2 months. So 3 months would be past your cutoff. So at 3 months, you believe it's immoral.
For me, yes, but I'm saying it's still legal and it's still valid.
Why
No,
does
why
that
should
matter?
it?
But if
Oh
you're
my
against it, why
God!
should
Wait.
Listen,
First of
listen,
all, I
right?
think you're
Child
using
marriage,
valid wrong here. I
child
don't
marriage
think.
in the Middle East is legal. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's
Wait,
right,
what did you
right.
say? I didn't hear you.
Marrying a child in the Middle East is legal over there. Does that therefore mean it's okay?
No.
So
Okay,
what you're
so
doing is you're appealing to legality. We don't even need to think about the law here. We're talking about your personal views.
I mean,
Yeah,
some
Alia, the reason.
states
mean,
restrict it prior to 9 weeks. So even by your own point, it would not be
Yeah.
legal.
by the way, I think a
Aaliyah,
woman, I think a
the
woman is
reason.
completely justified to
Hold
unalive a
on,
fetus
hold on. We'll get
that's
to you after. But
I'm
The
just
the reason
saying.
that you have a strange view, Alia, is because if you're the queen, you believe that animal abuse is wrong, and you're like, well, let's put laws against this because I believe it's wrong. But then all of a sudden you get to a AB, and you're like, I think it's wrong at 3 months for one to get an AB, but it should be legal. Well, that doesn't make sense. Why are you making it illegal for people to do wrong things in one case, but legal in other cases?
Because I feel as though if you illegalize abortion as a whole, when there are extreme circumstances in those same time frames, they will be affected.
We didn't talk about extreme circumstances. We're just talking about the
But they're
circumstances:
still
healthy mother,
included.
healthy baby, just financial reasons. The
But trying to
mothers who
make
got
it
raped,
illegal
you
as
get an
a
exception.
whole, it still counts.
No, Aaliyah, I didn't say as a whole. I'm just saying for the cases where it's at 3 months, healthy mom, healthy baby, she didn't get raped, she just wants to do it for
I
financial
was
reasons.
talking as a whole.
Whoa,
Okay,
hold
well now
on.
we're not talking as a
You're
whole.
not
We're just talking
addressing
for those
errors.
Aaliyah,
for the
Aaliyah, I
specific
think
cases.
I
That's
think
my apology because I was genuinely talking as like a generalized thing, like
yeah.
including
Wait.
exceptions and everything.
Well,
No,
well,
Aaliyah.
Error's giving you a specific point. He's not talking about medical exceptions. He's talking about the elective cases at that point. So would you make it illegal after that point? So after 9 weeks, would you make it illegal?
Say no
And it's
because
no grape
financially,
cases. There's nothing crazy. There's no ectopic pregnancies. It's just healthy mother, but she's just for financial reasons doing it.
no, she's in financial slavery. It's completely
Hold on,
justified.
dude. We're gonna get to you after. Like,
Don't
So for
capitulate,
financial reasons,
Aaliyah.
just for
Don't
financial reasons, should the
capitulate.
mother be able to do it after 9 weeks? Yes or no?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
She should be.
listen.
Even so, you
Can
think it's
can we
wrong
talk
and you
to
think that it
Scott
should be
quickly?
legal.
Scott,
Scott?
like
You think that it's wrong and you think that it should be
I just don't
legal.
want
You
her
think
to
that it should be
capitulate.
legal for people to do wrong actions.
Y'all are
Aaliyah.
both. I'm sorry, y'all both are muff.
I'm saying
Yeah,
you
you
think
think-
it should be legal for people to do wrong actions.
But I feel like that wrong is subjective when it
Oh,
comes
no.
to the belief.
oh my God.
It is when it comes to how many weeks.
Dan,
Because
please
I
take an
could
objection.
say-
You take it. You take it. I can't do this as a
Wait, Aaliyah, do you
subjectivist. I
think
cannot
morals
do
are
this.
Okay.
subjective or
Aaliyah,
objective?
But we
Aaliyah,
we all
one at a time, guys.
Okay.
One at a time.
Aaliyah, okay, so
Oh my
you're
god.
saying you're saying here that it's subjective. That wrong is
Only
subjective,
because
right?
you can't be what you guys ask me, when do I think is the cutoff? My
Mhm.
thoughts are gonna be different then look, I seen someone in the comments said 4 months is the cutoff for
Yeah,
them.
sure.
That's the only reason why I said
I
that.
hear you. I hear you there. Okay, so people have different opinions on like what is ethical and what is moral. Correct? We agree there. People have
Yeah.
different opinions on that. Okay. Could some people just be right and other people just be wrong, or do you think that it's just subjective?
I would say it's still, I don't know, actually. It could really just be both in a way, like
Well,
at
I
a
mean,
certain
it cannot be
standpoint,
both.
but
It cannot be both. That would be a contradiction.
That would violate the laws of
Yeah,
logic.
it would violate the laws of logic. Yeah. So it cannot be like both
we
subjective
really
and
don't know
objective.
when they're like they're gonna think that they're right, obviously, but in
Yeah,
the
sure.
end,
No, but
it's still
I'm asking.
subjective.
I'm asking what you think here. Do you think that like ethical claims or morals are objective or subjective?
Oh, subjective.
Okay, so if there's a person, okay, let's call this person Bob, okay, and Bob likes to, rob banks and grape the cashier at the bank, and he does this every Sunday, and Bob thinks that this is good, okay. Is Bob doing anything wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Bob doing anything objectively wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, but how can Bob be doing something objectively wrong if you think that morality and wrongness is subjective? You think it's
I
wrong
mean,
based on what?
he's doing two crimes in one.
Wait,
That's
do you
out
think
of morality usage.
let's say it wasn't a crime and it was actually encouraged in society to rob banks and grape the cashier. Now, did he do something wrong?
Well, then that would be more subjective.
Well, where'd she go?
I don't know.
I think she didn't like
I'm,
that.
I'm glad she left. Those type of people are the worst. When people say, "Oh, well, at the end of the day, morality is subjective and kumbaya," and get the fuck out.
They gave her that reduction.
But I really like walking them like very basically
Yeah,
down,
me too.
down that route.
But
And
they still
then
don't get
you
it. They still don't get
Yeah.
it, bro. You get to the end and then the brain just malfunctions and then they do a runner. She's a track star.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, so then why do your moral claims hold more weight than Bob's moral claims?
Error 404, error.
I could hear the fax machine noises playing outside. She was thinking about what you were asking.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I think that most are subjective. So I mean, like my neighbor that was, just like graping his dog the other day. I mean, hey, I can't
Well,
do
thought it
anything.
was
Dude.
bad,
Most
but
are
he thought it was
subjective.
good, bro. He thought it was good,
Yeah.
and I thought it was bad. So I mean, I can't impede on his thoughts of goodness. Like, yeah, how dare I?
Yeah.
Anyway, Scott said something interesting during that whole debacle. Scott was like, "Of course, women should be able to get an abortion. You shouldn't put them in financial slavery." Okay, Scott. What if a woman had a 2-year-old and she lost her job and she lost her husband and she was in extreme poverty? And this woman lived in Nepal where they don't have an adoption system. Can she take a pew-pew and blow her kid's head off? Yes or no?
Well, clearly being poor is worse than being dead. So, she just do what she wants.
At the end of the
No.
day, I think that the mother should have the right to choose what she does with that fetus. I mean, with the newborn.
With the
Not even
2-year-old.
being poor,
So-
just
so
being
Scott,
financially
no, for
obligated.
real,
Also,
because
I
Scott
didn't want to
did
know.
actually
I
say
think
that.
I think moral abstraction is true. I think moral objectivity is not like a
Okay,
moral.
wait,
like,
we're
just
off of that
objectivity
now.
itself
I
is not
asked you a
good word.
specific question, Scott. I asked you a specific question, and it was
Yeah,
to your
what was
point
that?
of like, oh, we shouldn't force women into financial slavery. Okay, let's say we have a
Absolutely.
woman who's in Nepal. This woman in Nepal does not have access to an adoption system because Nepal does not have a formal adoption system. This woman has a 2-year-old. She loses her job and her husband passes away. She cannot afford to raise this child. Can she blow its head off with a pew-pew? Because if she doesn't, she's going to be forced into financial slavery. Yes or no?
Yeah. So again, I'd have to see the system itself. So again, if it's truly based on some line in the sand if it really is if it really is slavery, like at
No,
that word at
by
that
your metric of financial slavery, Scott, you said that if a woman cannot
like
afford to take care of the child, then you're forcing financial
yeah,
slavery.
like I'm saying,
I'm giving you the exact same scenario, but just with a 2-year-old born child.
right, and I'll explain my point of view because I don't think you understand what I'm saying. If in perpetuity it is forcing her to eat, for instance, do you know what an MRE is? Like with the I've never been in the military, but like what they eat,
Yeah.
like in combat. If
Yeah.
it's going to set up a situation where she's eating MRIs or MREs in perpetuity, living in a society that, you know, not necessarily even a large group, but like some portion of society is able to afford actual food, then yeah, she's justified to unalive anything that she needs pretty much in that
Okay.
situation.
So what you're basically saying, following that
Basically,
to its
so wait,
logical
so
conclusion-
if a woman is going to end up eating military food, okay, combat military food,
You didn't
then
understand.
she's
You get what I mean by
justified.
that.
Then
right?
she's justified in unaliving her own 2-year-old in order to not eat military food. That's your
Well,
position.
you're saying that again, all I'm saying is like very processed food that will ultimately kill her.
Really bad
Okay,
food.
so listen to this,
Really
right?
bad food.
So
Very,
the
very bad
people that are
food.
currently in that
Yucky, icky
situation.
food for the body.
Yeah, if she
Yeah.
deems it necessary, yeah, I do think.
So the
if
people
she's-
that are currently in that situation eating
if she's
military
living in a
food,
society,
we should just unalive them.
absolute.
That's a reductio.
No, that's
like,
not. Wait, hold on.
The
You said
position
we
needs
should
to go no
unalive
further.
them?
Like,
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
So the
We
people
should
that are
unalive
currently
them.
in that position, you're saying, right, if they're going to end up in that position, then it's better off that they're unalived. So therefore,
Absolutely
the people
not.
that are
No,
currently
that's it,
in that
because
position,
that's not
we should
mechanically.
just take the life.
No, here's the
Because
problem.
clearly
You're
it's
not
better to
understanding.
be
Wait,
dead
wait,
than
hold
No,
on.
that's-
Wait, what'd you say? Not mechanically real life. Wait, you're saying this stuff like isn't.
No,
like,
I'm saying mechanically what his like syllogism to, or like parallel to that is that if people are going to wind up in poverty, then we should unalive them. That's absolutely not true if you're on the other side of the coin or even in poverty yourself. That doesn't mean you are justified to unalive other people in poverty at all. That's not the argument I'm making. I'm saying if a woman is defending for her life, if she is not able to have access to what even a large minority of society has access to in terms of actual survival, then yeah, like defend yourself and get
But
yourself.
what if she's in that situation with a live child already?
Absolutely use and the biggest point here, by the way, is
Absolutely.
I thought he
absolutely
already
for real
she
right
should
now.
said
not.
that.
She
He
should not
already
be.
said, yeah, he
She should
already.
not be following like moral standards or like legislation of a society that is enslaving her.
So she should be able
Absolutely.
to unalive a 2-year-old.
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Yeah,
she
she
can
deems it-
basically
yes.
if she's
Yep,
gonna
in that
if
situation, yes.
she's gonna
Absolutely.
Right, you believe in infanticide then?
if she's gonna eat military grade
How's that
food,
infanticizing?
if she's gonna eat a combat military food,
Why do you keep
and the only
using
way to stop
like,
herself from eating this combat
why do
military
you keep
food
using that
is for her
terminology?
to pew the 2-year-old. It's morally permissible to just
How are you mixing up the like systematic way I made my argument? I'm saying if a woman is unable to access food that will actually sustain her flourishment, then she is justified in taking all means necessary to get that access when there's a subset of society that clearly has that access and could afford all of society that access.
Including
So she is
killing
clearly-
so she can
we're
just
talking about
take it.
enslavement.
So she can just take her
I feel
2
like this is
hands
going
and
over
just
your head.
wring the thing's neck, right?
I'm trying to define what slavery is.
Cool,
You
so
understand
she
that, right?
So she can take her hands and she can wring its neck, right?
On a
If she
2-year-old.
deems that, yes. If she
On a
deems
on a
that,
2-year-old. On a
Yes.
2-year-old.
Absolutely. She is morally, absolutely.
Wow.
I don't see. Wait.
This
I don't
is
see.
rage
that's a
bait. This
reductio.
is bad faith.
Hold
Needs to go
on.
no further than
How is
that.
that bad faith?
I don't
You
see anywhere else.
No,
to
If you're
go.
in slavery, I mean, what moral high ground? Are you in slavery? Like, do you have any, I guess
Dude,
rebuttal to that?
Dude, your position leads to infanticide. It's absurd. You shouldn't subscribe.
Yeah.
How so?
You saying it's
Yeah, he
permissible?
just basically said it's morally permissible to just strangle a 2-year-old to death.
How is
you're
that
gonna be
first of all,
poor.
Hold on.
Based on the fact
Based
that a
on
woman's
what?
going to be eating some processed food.
Well, based on the fact that she doesn't have access to what a subset
Dude,
of
I hope
society
you
has
never have
access to,
kids.
in
I hope
unaliving
you never
this,
have kids.
So what?
unaliving
Tell me
this
why that
2-year-old
gives her the right
will
to
get her
unalive a
Maybe.
child.
access to that.
Yeah. Or
You're
she
Why
could.
does that give
there
her the
are other
right to unalive a
variables of what I'm
child?
describing.
Why does it give her the right to do that?
Well, again, because she's enslaved, so she is
Okay.
already
What?
starting from
Saved
a self-defense position.
the
Okay.
fuck up.
So what you're
Oh
telling
my
me
God,
here,
that's an
okay?
important. Like, no
Okay,
offense,
Scott,
but like
Scott,
half the
Scott,
panel's not
Scott.
even. I don't even
Scott, do you
think
know what
professors.
Scott, do you know what a
Following the
beggar
argument.
is? Scott, do you know what a beggar is? Like a beggar.
Question
It's
beggars.
someone who's
No, no,
asking,
no,
begging.
no, 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 no,
No,
no.
a
I'm
Using a
homeless
talking about.
verb.
person on the street begging
It's
for money.
You
yeah,
asking the
exactly.
definition of
It's a
a
beggar.
verb.
So it's like someone
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you.
street like begging for money. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
I grew up in South Africa. I saw a lot of beggars. Okay. In South Africa, there's many beggars, and these beggars they have children. Okay. And they have you see them begging for money with children. Okay. You think that it's morally permissible for one of these women to just strangle the child?
Again, it depends on the system itself. Based on what you're, I think South Africa, what you're talking about.
Mhm.
I don't think there's. I think that people,
There's an
even
adoption
poor
system,
people,
but
have
it's
access to whole foods, and they're not eating literal like plastic. So I don't think it's justified in probably the society you're describing.
okay.
Apartheid South Africa is literal slavery, bro.
Oh, really? So what's the benchmark of that? How do you define? When do you get to slavery?
Well, the fact that you can own other people's property and pay them a shit
That's not
wage.
what apartheid. What are you
I
fucking
can't believe you
talking
guys
about?
are entertaining this moron.
Oh, I know.
But what
Real.
this guy just talked about, he compared
Dude,
apartheid
shut
South
your
Africa
mouth.
to
You're talking
slavery.
about
Bro,
unalive children.
if you don't think
Shut your
apartheid
mouth.
South
For
Africa
real.
is slavery, then you're a
Dumb.
fucking idiot.
Well, then where's the threshold? Make some argument. You guys
There
keep
should
throwing out loose
there
terms
should
and
be a
can't substantiate anything. What's the threshold? When does slavery start? When is it just indentured servitude? Like what's the when do we get to
That's an
slavery?
idiot.
Wait.
Is it a financial?
Wait. You're saying they're enslaved. I like financial slavery. What the heck is financial slavery? You're the one who said that.
No. I actually corrected Professor. I made the original argument that being in a financial situation can deem slavery, and he said that early. He said something like financial slavery. I corrected him. It'd be easier to use the word slavery itself, but obviously there has to be like a parameter to define what in what situation are you actually a slave. And I mean, to be honest, it really is just like when you're in a group of people that has no access to owning assets, and we definitely get to at least like some partial slavery even in modern day.
Then I would say then we would have to say that like every single human being on planet Earth is like a slave.
This guy's a born victim. That's all.
Because like if you're gonna say that like if you cannot cannot own assets, then you are a slave. But every single asset that you
Again,
hold,
there's a threshold to everything we're talking about.
Hold on. Every single asset that you own, if
You're not living in
need
the real
be, the
world.
bank can come after every single fucking asset you own.
You know what a
Therefore,
bank
you
is?
don't actually own it.
No, what is a bank?
The bank owns assets itself. Like a bank is
Yeah.
literally just a balance sheet. So what are you
Yeah.
talking about? People can come after banks' assets. What?
I mean, you could just stipulate that in this society, the bank can't do that, and the bank is built in this very specific way to fit his hypothetical. We can just stipulate that.
bank is
Look,
just a business,
we don't
another
even know.
business.
We don't even know,
are
need
you
to go
talking
that
about?
far. The fact is, that if a woman is, going to be eating some like processed foods, then she can kill her kid. That's
An equivalent to MREs. And if she unalives a kid, she will then have access to actual food. Yeah, unalive the kid.
Yeah,
She can literally take her bare hands.
If she
take
wants,
her hands.
I don't think
She can
should,
take her
I think-
hands and wring its neck.
Again, I don't think she should fall. Like her discretion is the best, in my opinion, in that scenario.
I think there's no point in continuing. Your stance is infanticide.
This is fucking absurd.
Yeah, so you
I just want to know where
reports-
she's getting the MREs from.
I like MREs.
Yeah, like
There's a
I know
discount
someone
store
who
down the
I know
street
this
from
lady who works with me. She collects them and like taste
Yeah.
There's
tests
a
them.
discount
Have you
store
seen
down the
that guy
street
on
from us.
YouTube, Steve, where he eats ones from like the 90s?
Yeah,
I've
I
heard
mean,
she
if
some
he
knows
can
about
do it.
advances
crazy
in my
Russian
life,
happy.
but that one took the cake.
The problem with MREs is if you eat them indefinitely, you will die. You
Well,
will
it's like that with every
experience
food, though.
chronic inflammation.
You already talked about unaliving the kid, so shut up, anyways, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I mean,
Listen,
if I could right now, I play
Bro,
the
if I
Billy
eat the
Madison
healthiest
soundtrack.
MREs,
shit
I
on the
gotta go
planet, I'll
for my
eventually
kid.
die.
Like that's
If-
that's wild. I've
if the
never
mother's
even heard
life-
pro-choicers say this shit.
Well, if the caretaker's life is in danger, how
Michael,
would you?
what I'm wondering here, what I'm wondering here is that like
you unalived
is like
on more hills than
just
fucking
hold on,
Third Army.
Scott, the way that you're like thinking about this,
You're trying to
is-
define
is-
legislation for
yeah,
slaves,
just
is what
hold
you're trying
on,
to do, by the way.
Scott.
Just let him finish,
hold
let
on.
him land.
Scott, hold on.
Yeah.
The way that you're looking at this here is you're saying, okay, this kid that this woman has is obviously a burden to her, and in order
No, we
to
defined it
invoke some
as slavery.
hold on, Scott, hold on. In order for her to invoke some kind of self-defense, she can unalive the kid, okay, so that she doesn't eat these like MREs, okay. What about the accountability of her to that she put herself in the position that she is now eating these MREs? Why is it the child's fault that she's in this position? And why does the child deserve to unalive so that she can stop eating these MREs? Why?
You're totally right. If it's a scenario when she's not like, if you're making, again, you're going outside my hypothetical, like her definitively being using the word slavery, I would assume we're agreeing
I was the
that
one
she
that
didn't
posed the
give her-
hypothetical, Scott, not you. This was originally
and I-
my hypothetical. We had a
And
woman
I
in
responded.
Nepal.
I
We
responded
had a
with a
woman in Nepal
rebuttal.
who
I said
didn't have
there's this.
access to an adoption system, who had a kid,
Oh my God.
and in order for her to you know,
I responded with a. Oh my God, you're not even tracking. I responded with a rebuttal saying there is the scenario where a woman could be in
okay,
slavery.
so you
and is
responded to my
justified.
hypothetical by posing a new hypothetical, but you didn't
No, I
actually
rebut.
respond to my hypothetical.
Can I not use a hypothetical to make a conclusion, like make a point?
No, you. If I
Oh, I
pose a
can't?
hypothetical, then you must answer my
Wait, you're
hypothetical.
wait. No. You made an argument. I just responded to.
No.
You asked
Oh,
if it was
I didn't
justified.
make an argument.
You
I
asked me a
posed a
question, actually,
hypothetical.
sorry.
I
You-
said, what if there is
That's
a
not
woman
what I
in
was responding. No. You asked me if it was justified for a woman to unalive like a 2-year-old.
Yeah,
That's what you
and
asked.
what and in
I
what
said
scenario
it
was that
was.
placed
In
in?
some,
I
and
put a woman.
I gave you
put
a scenario which
woman
was
in
justified.
Scott. I said we have a woman in Nepal, okay, who doesn't have access to a formal adoption system. She is, if she does not unalive her 2-year-old, she would be in what you would consider financial slavery, just like the pregnant woman. Can she unalive the
But she
2-year-old?
does.
And then you
But if she-
said, "Oh, if she's going to be eating MREs, then yes,
Wait,
it's
no.
okay."
First of all, that's not what. No. I brought that. What are you talking about? You just don't know. I brought that up before you, I guess, posed this new hypothetical. I'll respond to that.
Dude.
Are you saying if she unalives this 2-year-old that she will be not in slavery?
Okay, we can literally
Is that
go up
part
to
of
the
it? I'm just
comments.
asking.
We can hold
Answer
on.
me.
We can go up to
Answer
the
me.
comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't answer questions until my hypotheticals get answered. I asked this like 15
This
minutes
is.
ago.
I'm
bro.
just asking for more details. I'm saying if she does unalive the fetus, is she out of slavery?
Yeah, if she no, it's not a fetus. It's a 2-year-old.
Or
Scott.
sorry, a 2-year-old, still a fetus.
Yes. If she unalives the 2-year-old, okay, then she's
Still a
not
fetus.
going to be in any kind of financial, distress anymore.
Yeah,
It's that
absolutely.
we have the same scenario here. Okay, we have a
Again,
woman
I
who's
was
pregnant.
defining
If she
slavery,
gives
so
birth,
I think
listen,
you're
we have a woman who's pregnant, and if she gives birth,
in
she
slavery.
cannot afford. Hold on, we have a woman who's pregnant, and if she gives birth, she's not going to be able to afford the child, which means she's going to be in financial distress. We now have a woman who doesn't have access to a formal adoption system. Her husband
afford food.
her husband passed away, and she just lost her job. So
Yeah, can't afford
she has a
food,
2-year-old.
nothing.
She cannot
Yeah.
afford the 2-year-old. Can she unalive the 2-year-old in the same way that the woman who's pregnant can get an abortion?
Are we describing specific slavery? Like she can't get health, she can't get anything.
Let's
This
let's
isn't
forget
US
about
society.
slavery. We're talking about financial distress, extreme financial distress.
So we're not talking about slavery. Again, there's a threshold here. That's why I kept
You
repeating.
brought
there's a
up
threshold.
slavery originally. That's why the reason that we
It's
got
not
into this
slavery.
conversation, we were talking to someone else before. Okay, we were talking to some other dude before, and you piped up and you said something about financial slavery. So I said, so I said, okay, Scott, I want to talk to you about this financial slavery thing. If we have a woman who's in Nepal who doesn't have access to a formal adoption system, her husband passes away, she loses her job, and she has a 2-year-old, can she unalive the 2-year-old because she's going to be in financial slavery? Only because you said the words financial slavery. That's why I brought it up.
Right. And just to clarify, and there's no means for her to get food. Like she's gonna, basically die here soon, or eat equivalent to, in the country that she's in.
Yes.
In the country that she's in, she's eating like basically dirt compared to what most people have access to.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's justified. Yes, she's justified.
She put herself in a position. She has a 2-year-old. She put herself
How
in a
did she
position.
put herself in that position again?
Well, I mean, she could, she could go and try and find another job. She can,
So she has access.
pull herself
she's not in slavery.
pull herself up by her bootstraps and try and find something. You keep
Right. So
talking-
she's living in the system we're living in right now.
You'd grow a garden.
Hold on. I gotta mute up.
Go to like a different country and just work.
How is this so hard for you to track? If she's living in any pretty much modern day country, she's not justified to unalive that kid because there are plenty of nonprofits that will provide them normal food, that will provide them shelter. So yeah, she's not justified in that circumstance. That's not
Either way, I
slavery.
still think it's infanticide. I mean, it's still infanticide. I still feel.
There's no justification, period.
Dude, no offense, but you've never been, and neither have I, but
What?
how can we even
Neither
talk
one.
about, you've never been in slavery? What are you talking about?
Have
you-
Your position
How do you
leads
even-
to
Hold on.
infanticide.
No. Hold on.
What?
Real quick. Let me ask you a question then. Is the smaller cost wrong?
Is a small cost?
Smaller cost. What fucking rhymes with it, dude? Come
Or
on.
smaller costs? Meaning gassing people? What do you mean by that?
Yes. Dude, you know what we were talking about. This
Yeah,
is-
I mean,
Yeah,
for the
just
most
looked
part,
at
it's unjustified to kill.
For the most part?
Yeah,
Are you
it's
serious?
again, it's not self-defense in that case. So no, it's not justified.
Is it wrong? That's my question.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's wrong because it's not self-defense. It's
It could be
unjustified.
okay. So we
You
agree
said
it's
for the
wrong.
most part.
What part?
Do you understand what schmurder is? It's
So
unjustified
hold on.
unaliving.
Hold on. We agree that's wrong, correct? Morally
Thank
wrong.
you. Yes.
Could it,
Yeah.
could it be? Could it be
unjustified
argued?
unaliving?
Could it be argued that it was self-defense of a nation?
Sure, absolutely. That's why morality is I mean, it's all based on perspective. Yeah.
No, it's not, dude.
No fucking
Oh,
way.
Oh, wait,
You
are
think
you
that-
the third person who's making the argument that morality is subjective? This is like the third person.
Wait. How do you?
Starting
Wait,
to
oh my
see
god.
it.
How do you? How can you define the unaliving of people to defend your nation as? How do you objectively define whether that's justified or not justified?
Again,
Objectively.
Is anybody taking this guy seriously at all? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
you mean
think
burden
he's-
shifting. You made the claim that it's relative, so the burden of proof would be on
It
you.
is
Then what's the argument for that?
that unaliving is based on perspective.
Yeah,
That's-
I unalived you.
morality is subjective.
Wait. I
Well, it's
unalived you
because-
because it's fun, and I don't like you. Is it permissible?
Well, if the collective deems your actions,
Shut the fuck
as-
up.
Don't do this, Scott.
Right.
Scott, don't
That's
do
literally how morality is defined.
No,
What
it's
else is
not,
going
dude.
on?
No, the fuck it ain't.
Wait.
Oh,
So
really?
it's majority rule. So if majority rule says we should grape you, right? Is it permissible? Does majority said so?
Well, apparently, I mean, I don't deem it permissible, but you guys do. So yeah,
He
it's
didn't
not
say anything
still
about
subjective.
this.
He doesn't even want to answer the question straight.
I just answered the question.
Yeah,
No, you
Scott,
didn't
just-
answer it.
It's a yes
Wait,
or
wait,
no
wait,
question.
wait. So Scott,
Like,
Scott,
no offense, but like,
it's just the
I
principle
don't
that's
think
being
you guys
tested
live
here,
in the real
Scott.
world.
Scott,
Yeah,
Scott,
I don't
it's
think
just
you do.
wait, Scott,
Hold on,
it's just the principle here. It's just the principle here that's being tested. Okay, You said that like that morality is like determined by like the majority. So the question that
And
was
by the way,
posed
hold
then,
on. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Just by the way, the word, now that I think about it, the word grape itself implies unjustified penetration or unjustified penetration. So
Unconsensual.
it literally, you're asking if
No.
something that is unjustified is justified or not. So it's just a bad
We're going
question.
on morality.
No, we're
We're
talking
going
about
on
morality.
The word
morality.
itself
No,
is
wait,
literally
Scott.
deeming it.
Hold on. All that's being said here is that you're saying that like morality is determined by the majority. So if the majority thought that like, sticking screwdrivers in 2-year-olds' heads was morally permissible, then would it be morally permissible because majority thinks it is?
Not to me. I mean, that doesn't seem morally permissible to me.
Answer the question, man.
Again, when we use the word more, no,
Dude,
it's not.
let's
to me.
say 85% of
How is
people
it
said.
going over
But
your
your
head?
standard of
Just a
what
yes
is
or no,
moral,
man.
but your standard of what is moral is what the majority deems to be moral.
I'm saying the word itself is, when we use the word like moral, it's usually what our tribe believes. That's what we mean by moral.
Okay, wait, our tribe believes that graping you is permissible, so therefore it's justified. Our tribe thinks it's fun.
Well, grape itself means unjustified.
No, grape means unconsensual smacks of somebody, right? A
Yeah,
person.
so that's what are you? Yes,
No,
and we deem that to be.
unconsensual. No, wait, hold on. Because the person, the
Okay.
rapist, thinks it is justified. Like, oh, I want to have fun, therefore it's justified. They don't care if the other party doesn't consent, as long as they get fun.
Consent and justification are not synonymous terms.
Yeah, I believe that action is unjustified, unconsensual schmecks.
Okay, so it's not what the majority thinks, correct?
Well, that's what moral objective, or like what we deem to be. But we don't even have to. Again, morality.
No,
doesn't
wait.
exist
What do you mean
itself.
we? That's what you, not we.
I'm trying to. I mean, it would be, to be honest, it would be better for me to say morality doesn't exist itself. That's
Okay,
a way
so you're an
easier. I'm just trying to
aerosol?
communicate with you guys.
Wait, so hold on. Now, like,
I mean, it doesn't
I don't
actually
know.
exist.
Have you studied metaethics at all?
I don't need. I mean, I'm a human. I don't need to really study.
I'm a human. I don't need to study medicine.
Look, wait,
Why would I need to study
guys,
metaethics?
wait. We don't need to jump.
I mean, just what is metaethics, just so I can talk. What is just define it real quick for me.
Yeah, metaethics would be like, if I can explain it by by just giving you an example, like is morality like subjective, objective? Do moral truths, are moral propositions truth apt? Things like that.
And so, morality to you is just what humans ought to do.
No, that would be that would be normative ethics.
Well, what is morality?
That would be,
just
that
so
would be
I just want to make sure I can stand on morality. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, but morals would be a set of principles which differentiate, but rightness and wrongness, or goodness and badness.
Yeah, so I guess just abstracts that we draw from certain abstractions from actions.
But then
potential
when we're talking about metaethics, we're talking about is morality subjective? Is it objective? Or if we go down the decision tree here, we're going the first question you have to ask is, are moral propositions truth apt? So if someone says Schmurder is wrong, is that true? Can that be true or false?
Yeah, no. So I'm saying, our idea of whether that's just an abstraction based on potential actions. So these are just it's ideas. I'm saying that it doesn't actually for us to say that one thing's justified and one thing's not. It's all
if I say to you, Schmurder is wrong, can that be true or false? Or do you think it's not the kind of thing that can be true or false?
But isn't that part the definition of Schmurder is bad unaliving, right?
Yes, sure.
So
So literally, definitionally, it is wrong. Like
right, but
communication.
why would it be
Analytically, so
wrong?
so you think it's
Like,
analytically true that you know, like Schmurder is wrong. So you think that that moral propositions are truth apt. So I'm just trying to determine whether
No,
you're a
no.
cognitivist or non-cognitivist. So it
Can I
sounds
ask
My
you a
to me
point,
like you're a
your
cognitivist.
question is wrong. Wrong. Like we just said that murder
Okay,
itself
wait,
is
wait, wait.
wrong.
Who is
Unalive.
that? We have a
yeah.
question
So
based on that, actually.
I'm just trying to determine here whether or not you're a cognitivist or non-cognitivist, because a non-cognitivist thinks moral propositions are not truth apt. Okay, which means that like a non-cognitivist would think that the proposition Schmurder is wrong would be the same as saying like close the door. It's not the kind of statement that can have truth or falseness to it.
Oh, I see.
If I say to you, Scott, close the door, that's not true or false, correct?
Well, but we're not talking about. We're talking about a word that would say "close the door," and you're asking if this word defined as "close the door" means close the door. Because, like, literally, we already said "schmurder" itself means wrong, unaliving. So you're asking if wrong is wrong.
Okay, yeah, so you're a cognitivist. So you think that like
I guess I don't.
yeah, so moral propositions are truth apt to you. Now, do you think that all humans, okay, are in error about moral propositions? Like when I say Schmurder is wrong, I'm in error, or if I say Schmurder is right, I'm in error.
No, I mean theoretically, we the best way, I guess. Maybe I should have said this at the start. The only thing we know is that we don't know, and so the point being is, even theoretically, grape. Like, if a group got together and said we're going to grape this one person or whatever the case may be, theoretically that actually could be at the anti-entropy or in benefit of whatever the big picture is. That's we're part of a whole. We're like the individual doesn't actually exist. The point being is like, yeah, we would we get this sort of voice in our head that says, oh, I believe this is wrong, and you kind of just fight for that, and you also that voice in your head kind of fluctuates. Also, you would admit based on your outside environment as well. So that's where morality comes about. It's just this abstraction based on either your opinion or the collective's opinion.
Now
It's all
even
subjective. I mean, it's all based on perspective.
now even stepping out of this debate, like this is something that I actually find very interesting about what you said. So I think that have you ever heard of the trolley problem?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this train barreling down the tracks. It's
Like
gonna
whether you take action
unalive
to
five people.
kill
It's gonna unalive five
Yeah.
people. If you pull the lever, you can change the direction, and it's gonna unalive one person. Would you pull the lever to
Right.
save the five and unalive the one?
I personally wouldn't pull the lever. I wouldn't do anything, but there's no way. There's no answer to that. I mean, I believe don't pull the lever.
Can
but-
you see? Can you see the side of the people that would pull the lever to save the five and unalive the one?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess they yeah.
Would you be able to see the side of a person? Let's say there was a bridge now, and there's a train barreling down the tracks, and there's five people on the tracks, and there's a person standing on a bridge, and they push someone else off the bridge in order to stop the train. Do you think can you see the side of that?
Wait. They're on a bridge. Train's coming.
So there's a train barreling down the track, and there's five people on the track. The train's gonna unalive these five people. However, there's a bridge, and there's a person standing on the bridge, and they push someone else off of the bridge in order to stop the train from unaliving the five people. Do you think it's
would you say, can you see the side of the person?
Oh, so it's the same as the lever problem. You're just
It's
talking
the
about
same as the
someone
lever, but instead of pulling a
killing a
lever,
person
they're
instead of
actively
pulling the lever.
pushing. Instead of pushing the lever, pulling the lever, they're pushing someone off a bridge.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
wrong.
again, I personally wouldn't push. Like I said, I wouldn't pull the lever. I wouldn't push the person off the bridge. But I could see the justification for pushing them off the bridge. I mean, I could. Again, I don't subjectively.
Fucking what?
Okay, wait. So what if we had 5 people who needed organ transplants, and someone went into the doctor's office just for a general checkup, and the doctor
We did that with armies every day.
and the doctor found that this person that came in for the general checkup they could harvest the organs from this person and give them to these 5 people. Could you see the side of the person who says, yes, we should unalive the person, harvest their organs against their will to save the 5?
Again, I mean, I could see how they would justify that, but I don't agree with that. Like I've
Crazy.
answered every time.
Yeah, I know. I like this. This is where I'm like lost. Like I don't even see the side of the person who says that that's permissible. Like that's fucking absurd
Well,
to me.
This guy,
because it's like
this guy
it's
has
like
died
what if
on a lot
this,
of hills. This is gonna end soon. Just letting you know.
I mean, I mean,
No, what
no
he's saying,
offense, but my
he's
logic
saying
was
he would
just
disagree with it.
absolutely
Like,
consistent.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
it's perfectly
I mean,
consistent.
logical consistency doesn't always mean that it doesn't lead to
Yeah, I
absurd.
just like because there could be the variable that this person that we're taking the organs out of is like gonna die tomorrow, and the other and this is the only people on Earth, and the other people, if we transfer these organs in, like one needs a liver, one needs a pancreas, one needs a kidney, so on and so forth, and they can continue on society. Otherwise, the human race dies. Well, maybe it's justified to take the organs out in that scenario. I'm just saying, like,
So you think
there
The
are
Handmaid's Tale? So you think
other
The Handmaid's
variables to
Tale is
this.
permissible? So like, you think The Handmaid's Tale could be permissible?
What is what is that?
It's like where women aren't breeding anymore. They're not having babies. So like men just decide, okay, we're gonna grape you in order to continue civilizing.
Oh wait, I've been asked this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and yes, actually, yeah, I did. Yes, it's just like I'm pretty sure what you're saying is like, society will not like the human race.
Come on, dude.
The human race will not continue if.
Man, he's even giggling. He even knows it's absurd.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, you see?
I know you guys think that this is like. I know you think it's an absurd
Alright.
claim to make, but
Alright.
like that's an apocalypse.
Wait,
That's a literal
wait. This is the
apocalypse.
last question.
I agree. It will be really fucking bad, bro. But we
Like,
can't
dude,
rape
what?
women to prevent like suffering.
You're
Dude.
talking about a literal apocalypse, like the
Yeah,
human
but
race-
you
Okay.
can't give it even in
Okay,
an
this
apocalypse.
is
Rape
the last
women.
question. Then I'm gonna drop him because I've tolerated for this too long. So you think every action to prevent extinction is permissible, right? Right.
I mean, for the most, I haven't thought.
So you think
I haven't thought of.
So you think eugenics is permissible to prevent our extinction, right?
I don't. Again, I don't think eugenics even helps. I think it actually hurts. But
Wait,
there was a case.
Scott, I have to gift you, bro. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
No, but
we're gonna
literally,
move on. I think you're
Literally, eugenics is literally working against our ability to survive because it's like us thinking we are like we're playing God in that scenario, and
I
that just
agree.
doesn't end well.
I agree.
I mean, I'm of the position that eugenics isn't always bad. Like,
I mean, there
Well-
might be a situation where it's good, but I'm just
yeah, I
saying.
mean, like for example, Scott, I can give this situation. Let's say we in like 100 years from now, humans invented a pill that a pregnant woman could take that prevented a child like this kid would never ever get cancer. Like, yeah, I don't think it's bad for her to take the pill. That's eugenics.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
don't
would
disagree.
say-
Like,
Well, I would say eugenics, like
disagree with
the types that lead to people being unalived and like put in cages as slavery. That type of eugenics is bad.
Yeah, well, of course, but like eugenics as like what it is like the arranging reproduction in a way that
Desirable
removes
traits,
like
or, yeah, or
like
want.
undesirable traits. Like, yeah, cancer's undesirable, and if there's if there's like cancer runs in a family, but there's a woman who could like take a pill to prevent this child from ever getting cancer, like, yeah, take the fucking pill. Engage in eugenics. I don't give a shit. That's
Well, the
good.
thing is, like, who decides between what's desirable? Like, what if people just don't like people with, like, I don't know, blonde hair? Like who decides what's desirable and what's undesirable?
Well, I think cancer's pretty undesirable.
I mean, maybe there's some people who, I don't know, some insane people who would like, I don't know.
Like,
There's
no, but
a-
like, protect. Do you think? Would you say it's wrong for a woman? Okay.
No,
Who
no.
cancer who runs in her family,
No.
and there's like a high probability that her child one day will get cancer when the child's like 50 years old.
No.
Like, would it be wrong for her to take a pill that prevents her child from ever
No.
getting cancer? Of course, we wouldn't say
No.
it's wrong. Like, yeah, that's eugenics.
Yeah, I would say yeah, because the eugenics that I'm mostly exposed to is the type that leads to people being unalived and enslaved. Like,
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
yeah, that's the most type.
Boys, it's been good. It's been an interesting one. I'm going to drop now, but thanks for having the conversation.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm
one,
sorry you
mate.
had to listen to that. I'm sorry you had to listen to that. in
It's
Canada.
all right, man. It is what it is. It's been entertaining nonetheless.
But yeah, Scott, we can't grape women just to keep the human civilization alive, bro.
All right.
did say
Nikki, what's your age? What's
human
your
race is
stance?
gone.
Nikki, what's your age?
So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you cut off. What'd you say?
What's your age and what's your stance?
Ah, okay. I'm 38, and my stance is most people haven't seen circumcision. I have, and it's really brutal. So I don't support. If I had children, I would not get them circumcised.
Right, but you know what this is referring to, right? It's this prompt.
You're trying to compare pro-choice to pro-circumcision.
Yeah, I'll explain
Okay.
why. I'll explain why. So people who hold the bodily autonomy stance, right? I would say circumcision. If you were to hold this position, circumcision would be a violation of bodily autonomy, as a child cannot consent to this procedure, right? I should also be clear that bodily autonomy, circumcision specifically affects only men, right? As it's legal in all 50 states, where the corresponding version for females is illegal, as it should be, of course, right? So if someone were to hold bodily autonomy, I would believe they should also be against circumcision. This would be violating the child's bodily autonomy by, not having his genitals mutilated.
Wait, that actually, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but that is like, it actually infuriates me. Like, I've never really thought about it that way, but how the fuck are all these pro-choicers that actually protest not, like, how are they not first advocating for no circumcision? Like, we're literally mutilating, like, millions of kids' penises every year. Isn't that insane?
Well, the thing MJ in the comments is I don't think that's like an empirical claim. I don't think most of them are against circumcision. I think most of them, I don't know the statistics. I would not say most of them are against it. I would say a lot of them support circumcision. As they do it, I would say, I don't have any statistics, but like I say the default position is to circumcise your children. I'd say that's like the default position that people most probably do. But yeah. It's not that nobody advocates against it, but it's not to the same degree as abortion, obviously.
I will say, just popping in to say, I had my child in 2023 and my doctors pushed for circumcision. I'm in Texas, so that probably makes a lot of a difference, but I told them that that's not what I wanted. I'm not comfortable with it. And they pushed for it. That's something that they wanted to do multiple times. And I had to say no multiple times. So just so everyone knows, that's something very normal. But a lot of women and a lot of moms are not doing that anymore.
I would say a lot probably still are. I mean, I don't know the statistics.
Some are, but a lot are not.
Yeah.
I agree. It is kind of normalized and expected. in the
Especially
hospital.
in our generations, it was normalized, of course.
Part of it is because a lot of parents do, when a child is intact, when a boy is intact, it requires particular care of the foreskin underneath, and the care is completely different. A lot of parents, and this isn't aimed at you, Tris, I don't know you, I don't know what kind of mother you are at all, but a lot of parents are very lazy and neglectful, or
I'm
they
not
are
lazy.
just, I
I'm
just
not like
said,
neglectful.
Tris, I just said it doesn't apply to you. Why would you respond to that? As I stated, a lot of parents are very lazy and very neglectful, and the consequences of not cleaning the foreskin properly can be very painful and cause problems that actually require medical intervention. So I think that is part of why they push it, to avoid those problems. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just informing the panel of why they do that.
Yeah, but to rebuttal there, we shouldn't. We
It's
obviously.
not a
I mean,
rebuttal. I'm not saying it's right.
yeah. Well,
I
I'm
just
not.
said
I'm not even. I don't even mean rebuttal. I mean just to highlight your points. We shouldn't allow neglect to happen based on a certain threshold, and we also, thus, shouldn't mutilate penises based on the potentiality of neglect. I mean, children probably also will face problems if the parent doesn't wash them generally, like if they don't wash their ears or brush their teeth or so on and so forth. So I don't think that we should justify mutilating genitalia because of
that's a
potential
good point,
neglect.
Campbell. I have to say, because your teeth and ears don't get traditionally have never been traditionally removed. So that's a very poor analogy, I have to say.
Wait, what are you saying? No, you're saying that it's. Well, I'm not. You did stipulate it's not a good thing, circumcision, but I'm
I
saying, like
said
you're
out the
saying, it's
gate
recommended
that I don't
because.
support it because it's I've seen it and I don't support it as a result. I said that first thing.
No, I know. I'm just saying that we shouldn't even. I think your actual point is just like not even worth mentioning because, like, we
That
shouldn't
I didn't make a
justify
point. I didn't make a point because I didn't
Okay.
justify it. I informed the panel
Yeah, I
about
got you.
why they push circumcision. I did not say I support that point. You don't listen.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. I figured most people knew. Like, okay, that's fair.
Well, either way, that was the prompt. Either way, why are you pro-choice?
Are you asking me why I'm pro-choice?
Yes.
Did you ask me
Yes.
that? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Nikki, yeah, you're the next person on the panel. Yeah.
Oh, why am I pro-choice? Okay. I didn't realize that was, you can't be pro-choice and pro-circumcision. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not pro-circumcision, so, and I happen to also be pro-choice. So, yeah.
Okay, why?
I'm pro-choice because I believe that because it is the woman that carries the pregnancy and bears 100% of the brunt of the pregnancy, that only she is responsible for deciding to keep the pregnancy. Men do not have an input in this by natural law, and what men have tried to do is create legislation to interfere with the natural law and give themselves power in childbirth, which they don't naturally have. It's all about control for men. You don't actually care about children.
No, it's not.
Natural law. What the heck do you mean by natural law? How does abortion fit
Right,
into
what-
natural law?
Never
When-
knew abortions were
When I say
natural.
natural law, I refer to the fact that naturally, birth, the act of pregnancy, the status of, however you want to say it, birth, childbirth, and pregnancy is exclusively done with the woman with the female body. It exclusively takes place in the female body. So that is the natural law. That
Okay,
women
can we
are
stipulate?
completely in charge of pregnancy and childbirth.
Can we stipulate a society or like a country where it's like only like obviously this is ridiculous, but like let's say it's only like females, just just to make a hypothetical to suit your argument for your pro-choice position. Let's say we have like a country where it's just females, right? And or there's only people, the people in power in the government, they're only females, right? So could you defend a pro-choice position where the only people enacting legislation against abortion are female?
I'll be honest with you, that's a ridiculous talking point, and I'm not
Well,
responding
it's a
to it.
hypothetical. It's a hypothetical to test your position, right?
And
So
it's ridiculous, and I'm not answering it. I'm sorry.
okay, well, you just can't defend your position, I guess, because it makes no sense. You're just
How is
blaming your pro-choice position on men and power. Like that makes no sense.
how is it ridiculous? I don't see how it's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
I've already stated it's ridiculous, and I'm not answering it. I have nothing else to add. That's it.
Wait, you stated it's ridiculous. You haven't explained how it was ridiculous.
I don't have to explain anything to you, honestly.
Then I reject your claim as
Here.
ridiculous.
Why even come up
I
here?
got a question. Now, is there like any kind of stipulations as far as abortions or anything like that? Like, are you in favor of like there's a medical or grape scenario, or is there a cutoff for you, or
If my excuse me,
I'm just trying to
my
get your idea of.
okay, my take is that if a woman does not want to give birth, she should be able to terminate pregnancy, and that's it. My point is very simple and very clear.
Now, so are
Well,
you
that's
talking
okay.
about through the whole 9 months, or is there a cutoff for you, or like you can only have it until up to here, or I'm just asking.
I'm actually fine with the current, in the states where it's still legal.
Wait, so you're current with the states, so if one state decides to ban it completely, that's permissible on your position? Because the states decided.
I mean, you should probably let me finish my talking point before you
You
try to
you
pivot to another
left.
question.
Well,
To be
you
honest,
Finished talking and you left the app, so like your mic muted when you leave. I don't know if you know this, but when you leave the app, your mic mutes, so we can't hear you.
oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
it's okay.
So let's see. What question was I? Okay, so stipulations as far as the cutoff
You said you were
for.
fine with the states, and I asked you, what if the states, what if like 95% of people in a state voted to ban it? Because the state decided under your worldview it would be permissible, because the state decided.
I think you prematurely ran away with a talking point that I didn't even make. That's what I was about to say about the state is I'm fine with the state's current cutoff, so to speak. I think they have it at, I want to say they have it at 20 weeks.
No, it's dependent on every state. Every state decides its own laws.
So the states that I'm familiar with, typically, I believe it's about 20 weeks.
No, again, all 50 states decide their own laws. They're different in
Do you
every
want me to
state.
go
It's not the
across
same for
every
every
single
state. So
50
okay,
states
so
and
regardless of the
tell you
legality,
according
we're
to
just
50
asking
different
your
states, or
position.
do you want me to give you a generic number? Do you want me to go
No,
across
we
all
want
50
know
states?
your opinion. So
So
we want to know if you have a
typically,
cutoff,
the
regardless of the law.
majority of the states say 20 weeks that are still allowed to legalize it. So I think that's fine.
I don't
20
even know if
weeks is
that's. I don't even
suitable.
know if that's true. It's a
20
majority.
weeks
Right,
is
and even if it
suitable. I've
was,
answered your
you're only
question.
appealing to
20
legality.
weeks is suitable. That is my answer. Take it or leave it.
I don't even. Again, I don't even know if that's true to begin with.
Right. Okay. So, all right. I just want to break this. So, what about so this is just what you believe because it's the law. So, would you be able to defend like a position or like
I don't need
to
to
us?
defend a position to you. That's what you don't understand.
Okay. Well, we're having a conversation, right? We're having a conversation, right? And you come up and you disagree with with the pro-life position, or you disagree with the pro-life position, and you're claiming you have a pro-choice position. As pro-lifers, we just want to
You're pro-life
deconstruct.
because you
We
want
just
to
want to
control
understand and
women.
deconstruct
And you're
your
not going to
opinion
talk
and
me
your
out of
perception.
believing that women do
Well,
not
well,
have
no,
full
we just
control
but I
of
just don't.
pregnancies. That's it.
Okay, well, I
If
guess
you
that's
don't
the
like
end of
it,
this conversation because you're not
don't
willing
knock
to
up women.
engage.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, we're just. I mean, if you
Here's the
can't,
thing.
if you
Here,
can't
hold on.
defend or uphold
I
your
don't
own
need to defend it
position,
to
I
you.
mean, it kind
I
of
really
goes to
don't.
Wait,
show
this
that
is a panel. You're supposed to give us reasons why we should subscribe to your view. That's the whole point.
I gave you a reason. Women have
No, you
autonomy
didn't.
over
You
our
just you made a
bodies.
claim and then you said, "Oh well, the law
Women
says
have
this."
autonomy
Like,
over our bodies.
You're asserting
You
that's the
guys had to
case.
create
No,
legislation in
you're
order to
you.
shift
No,
that
wait,
control into
wait.
your hands.
Hello, you're asserting that's the case. No, they do not. You're asserting that's the case.
Women have autonomy over our bodies. You're trying to change it.
You're asserting
Women,
that is the case. I disagree with this proposition. What's the
then go
argument?
ahead and disagree. Knock yourself out.
No, you're asserting that they have autonomy. What's the argument?
Sure. I don't have an argument for you if you don't understand that when
Yeah,
women
then I
get pregnant,
reject
they
it. I
decide.
reject your claim. If you don't have
Then
an argument.
reject it, sweetie. Nobody care. I can care less.
Wait, what do you mean
Reject
nobody
it.
cares? You joined a panel. What's the what?
There's a reason I cut off that sentence.
So you just
Bro,
admit you
this
can't defend your stance because you're not giving us.
I don't need to defend it to you.
this is
Women have
worse than that.
autonomy
That's
over
so
our
funny.
bodies.
Wait, host, can I talk to Nikki real quick?
Yes.
Nikki, so
I
when
have
you're
no
using
interest
the
in talking to
word
you. Don't
when you're
bother.
using the word bodily autonomy, what
I
do you
have no interest
consider
in talking to you.
what
Don't
do you
even bother.
consider a right to be?
I have no interest in talking to you.
Yeah,
Don't
you're an
bother.
irrational woman, so it's okay. I
And
don't
you are a
think
control
that's
seeking
annoying.
man.
Nikki, so can you define what a right is?
I have zero interest in talking to you.
Okay, then why are you on a panel?
You came on after me, sweetie. Why are you here?
Host, just kick her. She's irrational. If she's not gonna engage, she can just go. Like,
Yeah. Well, this is what I believe. Okay, why? I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you. I don't have
Don't
to
come
have a
up.
rational opinion. I can just believe what I want to believe. I don't have to uphold or explain why I believe what I believe. I don't even think I believe it. I can't explain to you why. I just
It just does.
and it's men's fault. It's a man's fault.
Yep.
Holy
Premise
monologue like
one,
Rose.
Abby is a 3. Premise 2, Abby
I've
is
heard about this.
35. Premise 3, Abby is annoying. Premise 4, Abby is easily butthurt. Well, the premises I didn't finish, but they seem pretty good. So.
Oh wait. The Sade Babe. Why don't you join up? A bunch of men talking. So can you defend your position? Why don't you join up?
Yeah, Sade was in here, and then there was MJ who was also in here. Someone wants a scooter versus empathy debate.
Why don't you defend your position? A bunch of men talking. Why are you assuming people's genders?
You know, I love the fact too that women like to say that shit, but at the end of it all, I mean, even when these women do have these abortions, you know, they're 165 times likely to unalive themselves. But they want to talk about women's rights, and you're trying to hurt women, and you're trying to force men to da 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 da. Like, what are you talking about?
I have a question. Where'd you get the 165 times for? Where'd you get that from?
I think it's like the Turnaway study, right? Or the Martha Shupin study?
It's the Turnaway study.
Mac, why am I debating? Who am I debating? What now?
Oh yeah, I just thought it'd be fun. You versus Scooter, just because. Listen,
Oh, me and Scoot have already debated. I've wiped the floor with them before.
Yeah, okay, buddy, if you say so.
It's funny.
Well, I do say so. Well, you invoked the first law of logic to come to this formal conclusion based off the dialect in which I have communicated towards
Scooter
you. So
versus the world.
Oh, he's just a Philly yapper. Like, that's it.
Philly yapper.
Do you have proof of you beating me in a debate?
Do I have what?
Yeah, do you have proof of that claim?
What, by me saying... Sorry, but let me rephrase. So me positing
Is that a yes or a no?
that you made an observation...
Is that a yes or a no?
And me saying that, well, yes.
Okay, where's the proof? Go ahead.
For proof of what?
Yeah,
So
just because you feel like
when you say
you want to debate, that doesn't
proof
make it
without
true.
prior context. Right,
Yeah,
but
again,
when
you're biased.
trying
It's
to make
okay.
it
Look,
different without
just because you have
context,
feelings like
this
you
is just
want
going
to
to be
debate doesn't make it
unintuitive.
true.
You could be like saying to me, empathy, can you prove to me the sky is blue, for example?
I have no clue what you're doing
Do
here.
I have to prove to you I had a lunch today? Like, where's prior context? Oh, you were talking about me wiping the floor with you? Oh yeah, this happened like a while ago.
He didn't. He never has. So I'll go ahead and give you an argument for the conceptual themes. We'll go ahead and do a debate. So premise one, if theism is not true, then there are no grounds for believing that human knowledge and communication are possible. Premise two, there are grounds for believing that human knowledge and communication are possible. Therefore, theism is true. So fundamentally, when we're talking about theism, we're talking about the systematic theology from Old and New Revelation that God has revealed, specifically to us to utilize his word as a teaching tool to rebuke, train, and correct on righteousness or sin. Now, when it comes to the definition of sin, empathy, we're referring to 1 John 3:4, to where it says sin is lawlessness, which would be a transgression against God's law. So the reason that there's no grounds for believing that human knowledge and communication are possible and absent of theism, you can go ahead and critique premise 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say that everything fundamentally and conceptually outside of God is going to be true, and everything that is going to be the direct opposite from God is going to be invalid because I say so.
Can you repeat back the argument I gave you, sir?
Yeah, so basically you're going to say that fundamentally that all of the teachings of God are going to be explicitly true as they are extrinsic to the nature of us as humans, and so when it does become the case through doctrine and theology of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ and God, that it's going to be rather than something embedded
Dude, no,
to
that
us.
doesn't address anything I said. What is the argument I have given you?
Yeah, so you're saying theism is going to be true.
That's the conclusion. I asked for the argument. Don't ever say you beat me in a debate again. You're responding with Phil Yap on an argument you cannot even repeat back to me because you don't understand it. So how about you start with clarifying questions on the premise, sir? If you don't understand a premise, you ask for clarification. Your stupidity is laughable. Don't ever say you beat me in a debate again. Ever.
Scoot, are you an abolitionist?
Yes, I'm an abolitionist.
Awesome.
Are you?
I've been looking more into it, but yeah, I've been leaning more into that.
Empathy, go on mute. You embarrass yourself. Go on mute. Go on mute. Yeah, so Ryan, I'm an abolitionist. I'm a Protestant Christian. So the place, I don't know where you're looking specifically, but I would recommend like Abolitionist Rising. There's a Norman statement. Do you know
Yep,
what
I've
that
been
is?
looking at that.
Yeah, we hold a gospel-centered, aligned providentially through the church, engage biblically, sought immediate without compromise. So our goal is gospel-centered. We think that when it comes to an abortion, that it's sin. And with sin, we need the gospel. We need Jesus Christ. Because me and you, as you know, we're not righteous without our faith in Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
So that's why we need the gospel. And that's our primary focus, to sum it up.
That's pretty much what I've gotten out of this. So yeah, I mean, again, I wanted to do like a little bit more research just to make sure, like, I'm not going to claim something I'm like, not going to be 100% in. But yeah, I've been leaning more towards it, and what I've gathered from it, yeah, that pretty much fits my whole stance.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It takes time, dude. I'm studying about 6 to 8 hours a day. I primarily just been reading the Bible, looking at different, when it comes to theism, different theories that best articulates the view. So I study 6 to 8 hours a day minimum. So it takes time, and I do appreciate, as a abolitionist, I've been one for a year now. I also go to my state's abolitionist movement. We actually had a guest speaker yesterday, and just know that we take our movement serious. So I really do appreciate your courtesy to not just claim the title without fully knowing what it is.
oh, absolutely.
We really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, again, it goes straight. I mean, again, from being religious too, I'm not going to sit there and claim something that could possibly be, heresy. I'm not going to speak on something I'm not going to have full knowledge on.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it takes time, but I have a really good group who could get in contact with you, and we're very understanding, and we just focus every day on the gospel. So once you're around those people, it's kind of like any concept, right? Let's say you know nothing about money. Well, if you do, start getting friends who know a little bit about finance. and then
Yeah.
just start talking about money. And the more you talk about money, the more you learn about money, and then you can start making, moves with the knowledge you have. So like formulating yourself around other Christians who, who are abolitionists, then we could talk about that with you like anytime you want to, any questions you have. The main contention we have with pro-life, because we oppose pro-life, is the pragmatics. Like they're incrementalist. We're not incrementalist. Incrementalist is like they would sign a heartbeat bill now if it could save like X amount of people, and we view that to be like sin.
What's gonna be the argument for that?
Yeah, because specifically when we look at the pragmatic view of pro-life, that if the argument is that we do X action to save, the most amount of babies, then currently what the pro-life movement is pushing in my state is that of two things. So the bill is HRB 73, and what it has in there is that, one, they're going to make it illegal for Planned Parenthood. So that's the major thing that they're doing. 2 stipulations. If a woman's raped, it's going to be legal for her to have an abortion. And the second one, here's the second one that pro-life is doing. What they're doing is their fetal anomalies. It's also legal to murder them for disabilities, etc.
So what's the argument that the mother is obligated to sustain pregnancy and rape?
So specifically when it comes to maintaining a pregnancy, that the derivation of the obligation is from the value and made in God's image.
That's just going to be a regular question. What's going to be the argument that instantiates that the woman is obligated to sustain pregnancy and rape?
So when you say the word obligation to maintain a pregnancy, that I'm not focused too much on the obligation. In my normative view, what we are supposed to do is follow what God says. So we go to scripture.
This doesn't answer the question. I'm asking for the obligation.
Yeah, the obligation is
why
that
the mother
God
should
has.
carry out the child. Like, why should
Well,
she
you're
carry
not.
out,
We don't argue from the secularist viewpoint, so we're not like going to
I'm asking
follow
for an
the
argument.
causal.
You just keep
Well,
repeating.
Mac, his argument is that it would be against God's command.
Yeah, that's the obligation
God
that we're not
exists.
to commit sin.
What's the argument that God exists? And if it's the case that he does, why should I listen to him?
Well, specifically, the argument God exists.
And just to be
That's
clear,
not
I actually
needed
do
for this
believe in
debate.
God. I actually do believe in God, the Abrahamic one. I just want an argument for it.
You wouldn't need that if you believe that to be the case. There
Yeah,
would
no, I'm
be
asking you
no
to give
visibility.
like this breakdown as to why this should be the case.
Well, Mac is Muslim, right? Aren't you Muslim? What do you say?
Yes, I am. I don't see how this has much to do with the conversation.
Look,
I know.
there's different semantical thesis. Like we can even say that, okay, look, no argument God exists, but we have odd statements logically that we can invoke. And as Christians who would invoke the logical statements, that would just be a reflection of God's character in our view. So the current debate is whether or not abortion is permissible or not permissible. We don't have to like invoke like the ontological existence of God. That seems like a pivot from the question.
That doesn't
If abortion is
That's
like
first, if you
permissible.
brought up the fact that God exists and like God is going to be the one in which would, write out things for us to follow. And if it is a case that these things are sinful against God, what's going to be the argument that instantiates God exists?
It's not. It's a non sequitur for the argument. I
How's
can
that a
run
non
into it
sequitur?
right
How's
now.
that a non sequitur?
Yeah, because all views. So what would be sufficient for like a ethical discussion
No,
would
I'm
just
asking you to
be
prove. I'm asking you to prove that
presuppositions.
God exists. That's what I'm trying to like get here.
Yeah,
What's
and
going to be the
I
argument?
you're not understanding. That's why, like, look,
No, Scooter, I think you're not understanding like what I'm asking you.
I've
What's
been
going to be the
interrupted
argument that
every
God
Well,
few
exists?
Mac, I think what he's trying to say is like he
No,
says.
hold on, protect. Hold on, protect. Don't jump in. Don't. Just let me talk.
Okay, well,
Hold on.
you need to calm down because you're not tracking.
But
You're
hold
not.
on, hold on. Just to be very clear, Scooter. Listen, you get destroyed by literally everybody, including Kay. So I'm asking for the argument. You just
That's
tell
not
me.
true.
No, listen, bro. Everybody's seen get dog walked by Kay. Like what?
Everyone can go to my panel right now and then watch Kay
Bro,
contradict
we
himself
watched
within
it
5
live.
minutes.
You got dog walked twice, 3 times.
Either
If you say
way,
so.
either way, it's,
If you say so.
Hilarious. This guy still can't give an argument for why God exists or how he exists. It's
It
hilarious.
does. It's not a non sequitur to the view, to the argument.
Wait, hold on. Just to be clear, if you're invoking that God told you to do these things, right? If there's like another entity out there that's telling us these things are sinful, I'm asking for the argument that this entity to which you're referencing exists.
Dude,
What's
how
the
is it
argument?
not
I'm
hard
telling
to
you it's a
think
non
that's not
sequitur.
sinful?
But
Like,
how's that a not? That's not a non sequitur. Do you
It
understand what a
is.
non sequitur is?
It is, yeah.
What's a non
So,
sequitur?
so specifically when it comes to, I'm going to answer that question, but to be clear, that all worldview has, all of them have presuppositions. So,
I'm asking what's a non sequitur.
well, you asked me a different question about God's existence too.
Yes. I have, but I'm also asking what's other because you just brought effects as non sequitur.
Well, are you
What's a
just
non
gonna
sequitur?
like just keep asking questions, or are you gonna let me respond?
Doesn't follow.
Yeah, no, because you're dodging. I'm asking what's a non sequitur.
Yeah, a non sequitur is just referring that we have a conclusion that doesn't logically follow from the premises of an argument.
Yeah, so explain to
And
me how
your
many asking an
conclusion,
argument for
your
God.
conclusion is
Wait,
that
wait,
it's
wait, hold on.
necessary
Isn't it true
for.
that your argument's preface is going to be on
No,
what
the
God
claim
told
I
you,
made
right?
was the view and the point you brought up that when it comes to the existence of God is a necessary condition for a normative ethical debate,
Wait,
that
hold on, Scooter.
that
Just to be clear.
conclusion
Wait, hold on,
doesn't
Scooter.
follow.
Let's lock in real quickly. I didn't ask you that. What my question to you is, what's going to be, because if God's going to be the preface of your argumentation as to why these things should be the case, I'm asking you to prove to me that God exists. What's going to
I'm
be the
telling you
motivated
that
reason?
under the Christian worldview and a normative ethical debate, we hold
This
it
is
to
a
be
dodge.
foundational. No, you just don't
This is a
know.
dodge.
Have you ever looked up foundationalism?
Yes, I have actually, but
What
it
is
doesn't look like you have a
foundationalism?
question. Yeah, so
What is
Scooter, just answer the
foundationalism?
question. Yeah, so just answer the question. Stop
What is
dodging.
foundationalism?
Yeah, so isn't foundationalism the type of things to which are derived from Scripture as to what tells us what God
No,
wants for us?
you can be a foundationalist without being a Christian, sir.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm asking you to provide me
That didn't follow what you
provide me
said.
an argument as to how God exists. You still haven't done that.
Well, you're just confused about
Wait,
foundationalism.
no, I think you're confused. Good, you keep dodging. So every time you don't answer the question,
Not
let's
dodging,
begin.
you're just not
That is a
understanding.
dodge. Prove to me God exists. I want the
It's
argument.
not needed. I don't have to.
Wait, hold on. If it's the case that you're deriving your argumentation on God and why God told us to
Wait,
do
host,
this,
can you just mute him so I can just
Well,
explain?
no, because this guy's confused. Like I'm literally asking this guy the argument for God. I'm not saying I don't believe in
It's
him.
not
I just
needed,
want
and I
to
can rationalize why it's not needed.
wait, hold on. Hold on. Just to be clear, if it's not needed, then why make a claim or argument about God? Hello?
I can definitely explain that and rationalize that.
Okay, so explain it to me. How does God
Yeah,
exist?
so foundationalist is just going to hold that there's going to be truths with no further reduction within the truth claim. So all sources of truth derive from the source of God. Okay? So specifically, if God is the beginning, the Alpha, and the Omega, that all things come from Him, He is the foundation. There's no thing before God, and there's no thing
He doesn't
after
answer
God.
the question and ask how God
Foundationally,
exists.
if the view reduces
Dodge.
down to the beginning of X thing, then the argument for that X thing would not be needed. Now,
Dodge.
here's what the problem is within your view, is
Dodge.
that specifically when it comes to all worldviews, all
Dodge.
worldviews have presuppositions. All of them
Dodge.
do. Even you right now are working under
Dodge.
precepts that you're not justifying.
Dodge.
That's why this is a performative
Doesn't answer the
contradiction.
question. You're not giving me an argument for God. You're
I just
repeating.
explained and rationalized why that's not necessary, sir.
How is that not necessary if you're going to?
I just explained it to you that there's no thing before God.
No, that's just going to be begging a question.
It's
This
not
doesn't
begging the
prove God
question.
exists. This guy is lost, like really lost.
No, nothing within you said.
This
no.
guy's swearing. This guy's swearing.
I mean,
He got cooked. Wait, hold on. No. Protect. This guy
No one's
literally
getting
got cooked
cooked.
by
You're just like
everybody in
yapping.
pro-life. He got cooked by almost everybody in the pro-life sphere. It's hilarious.
That's not true. Yeah,
That is
no,
no
that's
shit.
never
No, it's
happened.
very true. Listen, everybody on air watching you cook on He's found about K and multiple others.
You know
Even
what?
Ahmed.
Kay has never beat me in a debate.
Even Ahmed, who's not even a good at debating, gave you a run for your money. It's hilarious.
Ahmed ran from me.
No, he did not, bro. I seen
Yeah,
him
he
debate
did.
you.
He actually left, and then he went into a
This is
different
why.
life.
This is why we have to record shit because people just be
Well, wait. I mean, he could subscribe to Christianity and just like not believe and not like you just like subscribe to the ethics of Christianity, and not believe in God.
You can, yeah, that's definitely possible.
But it doesn't answer the question I'm asking.
It doesn't matter. That's why the host understands. Like, look, someone can just say, like, look,
That's
for this
fine.
argument,
Doesn't
we're
answer my
not going to talk
question.
about the
That
ontological
doesn't answer my
nature. We're
question.
just going to talk about the Christian
That
virtues.
doesn't answer my question.
You're not
I'm
tracking.
not talking
sir.
about what the host believes. I'm asking you, what's the argument that God
Well,
exists?
everyone, I think, is understanding but you.
Okay, so this guy just wants to dodge. It's hilarious. See,
No,
this is the problem I have with Scooter.
Well, I think that might have been his point. Is like you could still subscribe to Christianity.
I'm not saying you can't subscribe to Christian ethics. My argument is, my asking him
See?
for the argument
Yeah,
that's how God exists.
He
That's
gets
what I'm
it. Yeah, you don't have to ascribe to the argument.
That's
for
not,
God's
bro. If
existence
your
to
argument
hold
is based
Christian
on
ethics.
God, I'm asking the argument that God exists. Hello?
It's not
Give me some-
needed.
Wait,
This is like philosophy one.
Okay, so protect. You see, this is what I'm talking about, right? Scooter can't even answer a simple fucking question when I asked him to give me an argument for God. If you're going to invoke your argument saying that because God said so, right? Then I'm going to ask you, why is this the case that God exists? He's just telling me that, well, God said these things and this is the X whatever. This doesn't answer the fucking question.
All right.
And this is the
Let's.
problem that everybody has with Scooter.
All right. Let's give him a. All right, Scooter. Just explain.
Yeah. Yeah, so host, you get it, and he gets it, that, like, look, you could just argue the Christian ethics, and that's a complete separate argument from God's existence. The thing we're arguing here is the ethics of abortion, so you can just invoke the Christian ethics without ascribing to an argument to why God exists. Well, if
Okay,
you hold
that's
a
fine.
logical
But that
argument,
doesn't
it's
answer
not
the question.
negated.
I'm asking you, since you're a Christian, right? You're a Protestant. I'm asking you for the argument that God exists, right? We're not talking about the host or anyone else. Like, fine, I grant the fact that you can subscribe to Christian ethics while not being Christian, but that's not what's in question here. What's in question is
No,
how
you
God
can also
exists.
do that as a Christian.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm asking you for the argument.
See, then you understand.
No, I'm asking you for the argument. Like,
Look, you've seen this with, I'm sure you've seen Andrew Wilson. He
You just
debates
answered the
people.
question.
He debates people all the time on these things,
Honestly, don't
and
care.
people can
Honestly,
actually have the conversations.
You just answer the question.
I've actually seen feminists like OnlyFans act more cordial.
That's good. Just answer the question. What's
I've
the
actually
argument?
seen OnlyFans act more cordial
What's
than
the
you.
argument? Yeah, what's the argument that God exists? Right?
Yeah, and I'm not going to answer your irrelevant question.
So Scooter, yes, so that's going to be running. So Scooter,
That's not
so
running.
you're
Well, I do have a question for Scooter.
You're answering simple questions and you're dodging. Every time I ask you how God exists, if it's the
Yeah,
case that you're not a
not
Christian, I wouldn't
good.
even have this conversation with you. But since you do subscribe to these belief systems, I'm asking what's going to be the argument that God exists and He's the necessary foundation in which the things you're supposed to follow.
That just answered your question. You just have to go into the research of
You didn't answer the
foundationalism.
question. I'm asking you how God exists. Go ahead. This is like Dodge number 20 at this point.
I don't care if you
Wait,
keep
are you
speculating the
gonna
same
run
question.
tag? Is that your argument? Tag?
No, it's going to
No,
be Dodge.
no,
It's going to be
I'm
Dodge
not.
number 21.
No.
Nope, not going to run tag.
It's Dodge number 22.
I don't know why this guy is like just
Dodge
being.
number
Well, I do
23.
have a question for Scooter though. It is based on abolitionism though. One of the
Like really
tenets.
bad.
Yeah, sure.
It's like really bad for abolitionists.
Well, so one of the tenets, like, so only Protestants are welcome, right? Like, what about like Catholics and Orthodox,
No, they don't hold a sola scriptura.
right? But they would still believe that like God is the ultimate authority, right? And they would still believe abortion is impermissible. So like,
They would have like more ontological commitments that would need justification. So actually, Catholics separate themselves from abolitionist by their
right,
theology,
right.
but they affirm like the
But I have a question for
infallibility.
you. When do you
They
think
affirm the
Protestant?
infallibility of the church. So
Right.
that's like our main fundamental disagreement.
Dude, I have a
And they
question. Since
also deny sola scriptura
I
as
have a
well.
question for you. Since you relentlessly dodged like my question 22 times, when do you think Protestantism came to be?
Okay, so one, I didn't dodge any question that was relevant to the
Yeah, just
topic.
answer. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
And
just answer the
then
question.
two, specifically, what do you mean come to be?
Yes. When did Protestantism come to be? Like, when did it first start to sprout?
What do you take Protestants like to be?
Bro, what?
I,
Is
th-
this
I
not
think
serious right now? I'm asking you. When did Protestantism? When did Protestantism come into existence?
People that just ascribe to the Word of God. I mean, that would be from the beginning, Jesus
Yeah, no,
Christ
that'll be all
himself.
Christians, right? So, like, all Christians, according to like, we're going to look at the Eastern Orthodox Church. They actually uphold to the like scriptural laws and things to which God laid out for us, more so than Protestants do, right? Also, just
That's a claim.
wait, yeah, no, actually, this has been proven by historical evidence, and also just
Sorry, where? What's the proof of that?
yeah, so we can just look at the text, like the theology text and everything, like with the EOS Church. But the question I'm going to ask you is, when
So
did
he's not going to
Protestantism?
give the proof of that.
Wait, hold on, I'm asking you, when did Protestantism come
Oh,
about?
he's going to pivot from that claim.
That's not a pivot, but screw you,
Wait,
it's pivoted this
host, come
entire
on.
time when I
He
asked you a
complained
question.
that apparently I'm
So
dodging, and then
protect, you
he
see,
makes
this is
a
what
claim,
Scooter
and then he
does.
just like
Everybody in the debate sphere
pivots.
has a problem with him. Whenever you ask him simple questions, he just dodges and asks you questions. He's fucking
I
retarded,
do
bro.
want I do want to continue this. I was gonna end, but I do want to continue this. But
Like this is hilarious. It's actually hilarious. I
I do
asked him
want
when did Protestantism come? When did Protestantism come to be? When did it first start? He said it existed all the way back. No, it
Yeah,
did not.
he's just being abusive with his mod powers.
well,
No,
I
Scooter,
mean,
listen, it's because you're incredibly bad faith. That's the
well,
problem,
the
and
Protestant
everyone has an issue with
Reformation,
you.
yeah. I mean, the Protestant Reformation, yeah, but like you could argue there have been people who've been like against it for quite some time, like from the beginning of the church, like the
Yeah,
Protestant Reformation obviously began in the 16th century,
yeah, with Martin Luther. Yeah,
right?
So actually, no, the Protestant church began in the 1500s in Germany. That's where it
Right,
began.
right,
yeah.
It did.
yeah,
So we can agree to that, right?
yeah.
I mean, there
Um,
have been people who who disagreed. I mean, depending who you ask, some people say,
Well, according to historic evidence, right? Like the Protestant Church began in the 1500s.
yeah, we
yes,
don't
yeah,
we don't
right.
confine like our product like our view on being a Protestant as like organized religion. So I mean, you can go all the way back to like Jesus Christ. We can make an argument there.
Yeah, depending on
That's
who you
fine.
ask.
That's
Like,
fine. But I'm saying with regards to like the structure of the church itself is when it began in the 1500s. There's no evidence supporting that it was there like during the time of Jesus whatsoever.
Nothing about Jesus formulated an organized church.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
Yeah, that when it comes to Matthew, to where, Jesus who gave Peter the rock, that wasn't referring to like an organized religion.
No, that's fine. But the question I asked you earlier, Scooter, is when did Protestantism come to be? And
Yeah,
according to
that's
the
pretty
evidence,
vague.
wait, hold on. What?
Yeah, the host just agreed that we could probably, one, if we're talking about like the organization, then yeah, 1500s, but one can make the argument that that began with Jesus Christ.
specifically, I'll elaborate. I would say, depending on who you ask, because Catholics believe Jesus established the Catholic Church, Orthodox, blah, blah, blah. But some people could argue there are definitely people who disagree with the Catholic Church prior to the 1500s.
Yeah, but host, so I kind of want to get back and like further rationalize, because a lot of people have misconceptions and try to like pivot the conversation that when we have an ethical debate, God's existence is a entirely new question at hand.
Right.
That is an entirely new question. Now, if a Christian like just said, for the sake of debate, let's just focus on the Christian ethics,
Yeah.
then therefore that would be sufficient in order to engage within the abortion debate.
I mean, it is an integral part of your argument, but I'll just grant it for this case.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is why it's like bad faith, because all arguments have presuppositions.
Right.
All of them. So in order for them to critique the presuppositions within my view,
Yeah.
They would have to justify their presuppositions as well.
Right. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
They would only be able to.
I would just.
They only justify the presupposition only in the case where, like, if you're critiquing it, like their argument, not when they're doing yours. That's
Well,
what
no. When you're doing an internal critique, you're still using presuppositions performatively.
Well, Scooter. Well, whenever we have pro-choicers on here, they always assert that abortion is a right, right? And some of us will ask, what's the argument that rights exist, right? Because a lot of people hold the position that rights don't exist, and they give the argument that rights can only be actualized by force, and if there's no force, like, rights can't be actualized. Like, if you were to live in a tribal society, you can't actualize rights.
Yeah, that would be. I heard this argument from Andrew Wilson.
Yes.
It was 2 years ago.
Yes.
So what the argument is the internal critique that he's providing. So one, from like the subjectivist view, if morals are just the type of thing that are dependent upon our preference and desires, then they wouldn't actually exist in the sense without the actualization.
Right.
So that's where he creates, he distincts the definition of human rights as in human rights are entitlement absent duty.
Yes.
But most of the people who are like the subjectivist entail the right as duties. And I think it's important that we like draw a distinction. But for Jam, because Jam wasn't tracking, it's not a U2 fallacy. So that's not what I committed.
Well, Scooter, from like a Christian perspective, right? How would you argue that rights exist? Like, doesn't God give us obligations and not rights?
Well, he would grant us duties that we ought to, but the intrinsic consideration would derive from him. So that's where, if God did not exist, then the actualization of force would be needed. But as Christians, we rely on God, so he intrinsically has given us our value. So those would be the things that he has granted us within his ontological nature that we can have moral consideration for, and then rationalize that moral consideration.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was just my question. That's probably my only contention with abolitionism is just that part specifically. Protestantism. I mean, do you have to be like a specific like denomination of Protestantism?
Not necessarily. So if you just hold to the Norman statement and you're a Protestant, and you affirm sola scriptura, that would be sufficient to meet the abolitionist criteria with the Norman statement. And then obviously, like, the different type of denominations within, Protestants might have different, like, theological differences between the views. So that would be, like, cashed out separately, but not contingent upon, them being, like, an abolitionist.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah, like Calvinism, they might have a different view of free will than a Lutheran, and then they might have a different view of child baptism compared to a Lutheran. I mean, a lot of atonement too. Like, did Jesus Christ die on the cross universally for all sin, or was it a limited atonement, meaning that he died on the cross for the chosen one, so it was limited in nature, because that's what they hold to. Lutherans would say it's universal. So yeah, there's like theological differences between the Protestants, but it wouldn't hinge upon like if they're an abolitionist or not an abolitionist.
Yeah, those are definitely important theological issues, but like that's true. But like, would you consider like Seventh Day Adventists as like legitimate Christians? Would they be welcome to your
Wait, what is that?
Seventh Day Adventist?
I don't think I've ever heard of them, honestly.
So the Seventh Day Adventists, the only position I know they believe in is, I know they reject the idea in hell. They believe in annihilationism. I may be wrong, but they reject like being tortured in hell after death. They believe that the soul is destroyed after death. I think
so. Yeah. Honestly, we would probably say that teaching is like completely false. So if we're to be gospel centered, that means that we affirm the word of God, like in 2 Timothy 3:16, like all scripture is God breathed. So for them, if that's what they argue, I'm not sure. I'll have to look them up. But
yeah,
I know like
they're pretty famous. They're pretty well known. Like
it's just like, this is what the gospel says about hell. So Matthew 25:41, then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels. And then Matthew 13:15, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Luke 16:23 and 24, a parable of the rich man in Hades suffering torment. Revelations 20:14, the death and Hades were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death, the lake of fire. So like hell is affirmed in the gospel. And to directly deny the gospel while also affirming it would be a contradiction.
Well, like Scooter, like I'm sure they would find some scripture. I don't know what it would be, but they would find something that would affirm their belief that annihilationism is the correct view. They're pretty new. They exist in like the 1800s, so like around the same time as Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses. So like, they're definitely not old, but they would find some scripture like, no, actually, hell is not biblical. Annihilationism is.
Yeah, then I would feel if, I don't know, I would have to see the exegete. I would have to see the argument.
I would suggest, like, I'm surprised I never heard of them, but like, I would suggest like looking what they believe in.
What are they again?
The Seventh Day Adventists.
7-day Adventists. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of research on them.
Don't quote me on their beliefs because I don't want to misinterpret it. But from what I've heard, they reject the idea of hell. They do believe in annihilationism. I'm certain. So like they are pretty well known. Like some people don't really consider them Christians. Others do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that is a pretty like core element of Christianity to like reject hell. I would say.
Yeah, especially like I think it's in Romans. Jesus has the keys. Yeah, like Jesus has the keys of Hades, which is in Revelation 1:18. So Hades is referring to hell. So I don't know. Like I have them pulled up here, so I'll just research because obviously I don't know too much. But just from like the little things I've heard, there seems to be a lot of issues within their theology at this point. Like that seems terrible.
Yeah, a lot of people like obviously like the laymen would consider them to be Christians. But like in like more well versed people, obviously the Christians like they do not consider them as Christians. It's like Mormons. From the outside looking in, people consider Mormons as Christians, but it's like actual Christians. Nobody believes Mormons are Christians.
Yeah, I know that. I know a lot of the people I debate with every day and stuff. We don't view Catholics and Mormons to be Christian. We view Joseph Smith to be a false prophet.
Yeah.
So,
Do you consider Messianic Jews to be Christians?
Jews, no, they denied the divinity of Jesus.
No, like Messianic Jews. You know who they are?
You might have to remind me. I'm more focused on like the systematic theology and stuff, but there's a lot of nuance with like other denoms.
Yeah. So when I heard here, a Messianic Jew is like a Jew who follows all the laws of the Old Testaments, right? So they're still like ethnically and religiously Jewish, but they still believe Jesus is the Messiah. It's still like a movement. So like it's called Messianic Judaism. So like it's still Judaism, but they still believe Jesus is like the Messiah. It's like confusing. It's like, is it technically Christianity? Is it Judaism? It's basically a mixture because they still follow like the Old Testament laws.
Yeah, I would have to I would probably have to go into their theology a little bit. The Jews specifically, I know. Well, it looks like they affirm the Old and New. I think there's some Jewish people that just hold to the Old Testament, and they also view that Jesus Christ has not walked the earth yet, from my interpretation, not trying to strawman them. So, yeah, a lot of them reject, like, the gospel, Jewish people, because they view that Jesus has not came to earth yet. He has not taken on human flesh and has not resurrected on the cross.
Yeah, someone in the comments said Seventh-day Adventists believe the Sabbath is on Saturday, not Sunday. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that would also contradict what God says the Sabbath day is, right? The day of rest.
Yeah.
It's just found, like, there's just so many nuance with what, like, Evil Khan said. There's so many nuances per, like, the Jews, the Messianic Jews, and caveats that there's, like, small things, too. So I can't remember, but, yeah, that's one of the smaller things that's a contradiction from what God says.
Well, the thing is, what Mapp is trying to say is that not specific, like, his contentions with Protestantism is that a lot of these churches, just like Mormonism specifically, Seventh-day Adventists, and the Jehovah's Witnesses, these have no really historical backing to them. They came around in the 1800s, right? So, like, basically people, it was Joseph Smith's own interpretation and stuff like that, which is why he doesn't subscribe to, if he was a Christian, he would be Orthodox, right? Because he does believe that, he believes that the Orthodox Church is the church that Jesus established 2,000 years ago.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm also in the middle of, me and my buddy have been into the stock market a lot lately, and we got his count up to 6 figs.
Oh, nice.
So I'm starting my own, and we're going to work on mine over the next couple years, but pretty exciting, yeah.
Nice. All right, Infidel, hello. He's still here. Hello? Hello? Is Infidel still here?
I know he might be away or something, but
But yeah, that was just the point I wanted to ask. That is probably my contention with abolitionism. That specifically.
he's sleeping. I do not blame him, dude. I should be asleep.
Yeah, it's like almost 4 a.m. here.
There's like a handful of nights that I'm up past like 10:30 p.m. I usually try to keep it around 10:30 for a schedule. It's good to always be on a schedule like that for consistency.
I agree.
But here's the thing I have a problem. So, like, look, foundationalism and precepts within that, like, it's a complete different question from abortion. And I kind of view it to be absurd in a sense, because it would be like, if someone was arguing NLT, like natural law theory, and obviously this derived from like Aristotle, and instead of engaging within like, you know, the telos, or engaging in like, you know, human flourishing, or engaging within, you know, the principles of, you know, eudaimonia, right? I just say, well, what's the argument? Aristotle existed.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems laughable.
I mean, he's historically documented. Like,
So is Jesus too.
yeah, right. I would say Jesus more than Aristotle, but
That's where it's like, look, can you give me the argument that Aristotle existed? Like, because actually, after Aristotle's time, we didn't actually get his works till hundreds of years later.
right.
Hundreds. Like, if you deny, like, you know, scripture being accurate because of like the time frame, kind of like what Mac was doing, it's like actually it's more probable that the Bible is more reliable than the work of Aristotle. It was like 900 years after Aristotle to where we had like a translation of his work.
I've heard about, I can't remember the specific year, like statistic, but it was like a certain amount of years between something is accurate and no longer considered accurate, right? Because like Buddhism, right? The Buddha's teachings were like, I believe, like centuries after he died. I may be wrong, but at least some of his teachings, right? Which is why, you know, people. I think one argument for, you know, God being true in Christianity is people use the historical arguments, like, because out of all the religions, his history supports Christianity the most than any other mainstream religion. Which I think that's a pretty valid argument for Christianity.
Yeah, like with Aristotle, his works weren't found till the 13th century in southern Spain, 900 years after his views. So it's like, look, if I'm debating like a natural law theorist, I could just be the most uncharitable and say, well, what's the argument that Aristotle's work is actually Aristotle's? But obviously that's opening up the door to a whole different question from just addressing like the normative ethics.
Right. That's a fair point. But didn't Aquinas also like put his view on natural law theory? I can't.
Yeah, he has a natural law theory. There's some similarity, but there's distinctions too. Like the primary distinction would be categories. One of the categories would be eudaimonia. And that would be that Thomas Aquinas held that the ultimate purpose is to align your soul with God. Aristotle didn't have that as his eudaimonia.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be like the major distinction.
I see, because I haven't read into these things. I always view natural law theory as kind of like the secular version of Christianity, I guess. Like,
yeah. I mean, if you ever, there's like a really good 5-part book series, and it goes into the first century all the way up to 2,000 years of church history. And it goes into detail like the philosophers during Jesus's time and how much that, yeah, there is some work of like Aristotle and Plato and Thomas Aquinas that had some work on the church and that implemented the church. But these things were actually worshipped back in the first century.
yes.
Like Aristotle's soul theory, people actually held that religiously.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And they talk about the Stoics who, I think it's in Acts, they debated Apostle Paul and they were preaching, and it references like the philosophers came and just mocked them and belittled the apostles.
Yes.
So yeah, like one in first century in Rome, the Roman Empire, that what they would do is worship their emperor. So they view their emperors like Saint Augustine. So Augustine the emperor,
Yes.
they actually viewed him to have divine characteristics. We actually get our month of August from Augustine, the first emperor of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So yeah, they actually viewed their emperors to have divine characteristics. They also viewed philosophy to be a type of religion because it invokes soul theory.
Yes.
And it also provides like well-being. So it gives you all the things needed in order to develop a worldview that would be, in a sense, sufficient to not hold to like the word of God.
All right.
A whole pathway of how to live. So a lot of these things were antithetical, and they actually opposed like Jesus Christ and the apostles within their philosophy. And then you also have like the hedonistic people that they viewed like the hedonistic, like, you know, the mind preferences. They're the ones that debated Apostle Paul too. But a lot of these things, if you go back historically, it's pretty bad of how they deviate from Christianity. So when Christians say like NLT, like it works compatible with the Christian view, it's like if you had any idea historically on what natural law theory has done that's been incompatible to the message of the good news, the gospel, you would run away from NLT.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but aren't we supposed to be? Isn't nature in accordance with God? Like,
Yeah, he has a divine and natural revelation.
right. Like, wouldn't that be at least part of natural law theory? Like,
Well, the natural revelation, that's where we get into, with God's natural revelation, that there's unity and plurality within the relationship of the creator and the creation. So that's where like the natural law is, the telos is going to be fundamentally different within the semantical thesis, because the intellectual mind or purpose derives from God. So if you're not acknowledging like the intellectual designer, the creator within NLT, then therefore you're directly denying him within your secular natural like NLT view.
right.
Because the telos would be based upon, you know, these things that you're not granting God the authority over.
I agree. Well, I mean, relating to that point, if somebody, you know, back to the abortion case, like because there are some atheists, there are some agnostics who, like, I do believe there are some atheists who say like having sex outside of marriage is like immoral. Right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Some of them would still subscribe to this view, but they just wouldn't believe. Like, they would still subscribe to Christianity. They just wouldn't believe that Jesus rose from the dead, right? But they would still agree with other aspects of Christianity, like, people should engage in sexual deviancy and other things. It's just like the theology they would disagree.
Yeah, like the exegete for this would be Genesis 2:24. For this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined with his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And then it's reaffirmed in Matthew 19:5.
Right.
And said, for this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And then Mark 10 verse 8, and the two shall become one flesh, so they are no longer two but one flesh. And then Ephesians 5:31 also affirms it. So throughout the Old and New Testament, it's affirmed that what the covenant within, like, it goes back to the creation in God's image, but what we are called within God's design is to have a covenantal marriage.
Right.
Within that covenantal marriage, we become one flesh with that person, and that is where we engage sexually. And anything out of that is a perversion. So, like homos, you know, men and men, women and women, all of these things, they're sin. They're against the natural design. And, you know, forcification or adultery, that happens in modern day with like OnlyFans, viewing women in that way as, you know, a type of property, or the type of thing that, you know, we can gain pleasure from outside of the covenant of what God intended. Very sinful and immoral. And yeah, we do need to repent for that, because God in the Old Testament actually puts one sin above all others. Well, there's blasphemy, but sexual immorality.
Yes.
Yeah, in the New Testament.
Yeah, because I mean, again, like I do think like like I said, there are some atheists who are, you know, do not subscribe to the theology of God, but they still agree like, yes, sex outside of marriage is still a bad thing. They disagree with, you know, GAY marriage. I don't know how could they come to this conclusion. I think, it's written on their hearts, as Christians would say. But like,
Yeah.
uh, they came to the conclusion abortion is still wrong without being God. It's like that's the thing I was saying. It's like you could just subscribe to Christianity and just like, okay, I won't give my argument for God, but I still like, because they would probably use like a utilitarian framework, like, oh, for a country, if the world was Christian, the world would probably be a better place than it is now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, people know God. He tells us they know him, but they suppress the truth and unrighteousness. So there are people that can come to the conclusion, that abortion's bad without God. But obviously, we're going to test the justification of that. And the main problem, at least from like, I've probably done 50,000 plus debates, I would say, over 6 years now. I also did debates like outside of TikTok. But Christians are also like holding these secularist viewpoints.
Yes.
And also Christians are saying like, look, we're not going to convince anyone if we're going to hold the Christian view. As Christians, it's like, look, if what Jesus Christ did on the cross, if you do believe that to be true, and the will of God was for eternal life, for Jesus to die for our sins, then I don't think your secular argument is going to like move the needle.
I mean, you'd have to be grasping for some meta-ethical framework. Like some would say, I run like deontology, and like I would say, like some people would say, well, abortion is wrong because it's a negative to evolution, right? Like if we unalive our offspring, we wouldn't be reproducing, and like that would lead to our extinction eventually, right? Someone that could like argue through that. I would say it's like almost impossible to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not sure if you're a Christian, but you seem really reasonable as a person.
Yeah, I'm still trying to I'm just learning my things from everywhere, and I'm definitely not atheist. Like I think, like that was the thing that really made me question, like if atheism is true, if we're just more evolved animals, like why shouldn't we like abuse people for our own benefit? Like if we're really the same thing as like a lion, like no one gets mad at a lion eating a gazelle, right, for its benefit. So like why would humans unaliving each other for their own benefit be wrong if we're just smarter animals? Like I can't subscribe to like macro evolution, at least.
No, that's good. I know that a Calvinist, his name's Jeff Durbin.
Yes,
he
I
goes
heard.
and
Yeah.
he street preaches all the time. And he gives this argument, and he's like, look, if we came from stardust and random chaos and we developed from fish, why would women even be valuable?
Yes.
Or why would humans be valuable? And no one has an answer. And I actually replicated that debate here on TikTok. I asked someone like, look, you're advocating for women's rights. This is clearly something that you take serious within your moral consideration. If we actually did come from fish, why would women be valuable? Their response was, well, actually, they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because-
That's the thing that really made me question like, atheism is like, for me, that's probably the strongest argument for God is the moral arguments. That was the thing that convinced me. Is like there is obviously a lawbringer that makes these objective truths about morality. If we really are just animals, like again, like what's so bad about abusing people for our own benefits? Every other animal in the animal kingdom does it, and nobody cares.
Yeah. No, I'm against veganism. So I mean, I never really heard a good like vegan argument, and I've listened to a lot of vegans debate. But ultimately, like, what distinguishes us from like other animals is rationality. Ultimately, but from the Christian view, we hold that to be an extension of God's character. So if the goal is to reduce like harm, okay, then specifically humans who are rational would have authority over other animals. That would have to be necessary to reduce harm. That would be compatible with your end goal. But you would have to acknowledge like the hierarchy of like humans being superior in the sense of rationality, because without human rationality, then once again, we would just be acting like bears, lions, etc.
Right.
But once you like say that like if you're going to implement like harm principles or gentlest means, then yeah, humans should have the authority. And then two, some people just deny that the distinction between humans being irrational and other animals. And then you can kind of like do a little bit of intuition pump. Like if a woman was fighting a bear, right? And you had a sword, okay?
Yeah.
And you know, you hold these two species to be the same, the woman and the bear, you have a sword, you see this altercation. Who are you going to kill? Or who are you going to unalive?
Yeah.
And most of them, I mean, everyone that I've asked that question to said that, yeah, they're going to unalive the bear. And then you say, well, justify unaliving the bear if they're equal. Why would you do that?
Right.
And then they start creating an argument that's in support of your argument that, oh, maybe there's different moral considerations you have for humans than other animals. Maybe that's the case. So that's kind of like where that goes.
I mean, I heard people argue that animals have some degree of rationality. I mean, I guess we should probably ask, what is rationality specifically?
Yeah, just the ability for, you know, complex understanding, the ability to engage within reasoning, stuff like that.
Yeah,
rationality is a pretty like vague term.
Yeah,
I'll grant you that.
Would it be like all of those things, or just like one of those things?
I would say generally, if you just say like the ability to reason in complex thought or something, that would be sufficient.
Yeah, I agree. I would say animals primarily act on instinct. I don't
would say all.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't want to make a claim that I can't substantiate, but I would say, like, can an animal even think for itself? Like, I think it just does things. Like, I don't think a lion, I heard about this and I question it. Like, some people would say, you know, a lion or any, like, big cat has some level of rationality because it knows to hide inside of a bush and wait for prey and then pounce on it and eat it. But I think that's just an instinct.
No, I think when I define rationality as like reasoning, complex thought, Andy probably said it better. I mean, pretty simple that abstract thought, they're just negated all other animals. So like, yeah, that seems to me like when it comes to a cat, they're hiding in a bush, so they're not prey. Well, that's instinctive.
Right.
That's just instinct. And also there's like children out of the womb who they have the capacity of rationality. They do, but it takes some time to develop. So out of the womb, they might not have that ability for like abstract concept and thought. So even children are instinctive.
Yes.
So that's where we have like the rational agents who have authority over them to make the abstract concepts come together with what we ought to ethically.
Right. I would say my view, I would say like we're obligated to human beings and not animals. Like animals can't reciprocate these things back to us. Like a jaguar is just gonna rip you to pieces and not gonna care.
Except for that one guy, he like
Can I
tamed
ask a
a
question?
lion or something like
Yes.
at a young age, and then
Oh.
yeah, that guy's crazy. And then now this lion's like I don't know, however much lions like averagely weigh, this
Yeah.
lion just jumps on him.
Yeah. Sure. What was your question? Yeah.
Who on the panel was an atheist?
Not me.
Yeah. The live is originally about abortion. I mean, I'm gonna end soon, but like he
The
was
host is an atheist. He doesn't affirm the Christian God.
yeah. What's your question? Yeah. What was your question?
No, I guess you could say the difference between human beings and like animals is the golden rule, and then understanding the consequences of your actions.
Right. I agree. I think.
Yeah, we can differentiate the consequences of our actions between like like actions that don't have any bad consequences and the golden rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I heard of someone earlier yesterday said this was like an is-ought fallacy. I'm not sure. Like, this is descriptively true that we have these characteristics. So, like, why does these characteristics just give us value over animals?
Sure, right. So it's a large leap from maybe we had just gained these abilities over time versus saying that someone gave it to us.
Yeah.
It's a big old leap. Jumping
Like a
from
heavy
saying that
walkout.
maybe we just have them versus saying that another entity gave it to us. That's a big leap.
I'm sorry, I missed that. So what's the Izot? What's the claim there?
Yeah, someone in my live yesterday, because they were pro-lifer, but they did say, like, this is descriptively true that humans have these qualities, but, like, why would these qualities grant us moral consideration over animals?
Hmm. Yeah, that gets problematic. I'm not sure if that meets Izot. I mean, technically, if we wanted to, like, be super uncharitable, okay, that if you're, like, someone who doesn't believe in God and you're, like, a subjectivist or something, well, what the case is descriptively is you're just reporting to me your preference and desire
Right.
descriptively. And then from the descriptive claim, you're drawing the odds if you want to be uncharitable. So I'm sure one can make an argument that all subjective arguments are just descriptive by nature. You're just reporting a
Don't know
preference and
yet.
desire you
What's
have.
the
What'd you say?
what's the prescription?
That's what they were asking in the yesterday. It's like, okay, we have rationality. This is descriptively true that we have this, but, like, what is so special about rationality that would grant us moral consideration over all other organisms?
It lets us reproduce more. It puts us at the top of the food chain. I think that's a really animalistic thing.
Well, I would say let's just well, the thing about rationality, this is another thing when we question atheism, right? Is human beings do things that are contrary to evolution, right? So the whole point of evolution is to survive and reproduce, but, like, self-deletion is literally the opposite of that, and it's very prevalent, right? Also, people sterilize themselves as well. So this would be going against every other creature in the animal kingdom. I don't think any animal would, practice self-deletion or sterilize themselves. So I would say, like, we're just completely in a completely different category than every other animal.
Yes. Is that an exception to the rule, or is that the rule?
That I would say that, I mean, maybe exception to the rule. I would say, yeah. If you're gonna say evolution, right? I might say that, like, maybe human beings are the only types of beings that will ever possess these qualities, at least on Earth. If you subscribe to that view, but yeah.
And then when human beings actually did, mine is self deletion, but I'm saying, like, mass, like the G word,
Yeah.
or like mass, the M word.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them were doing that because they believed that it was for the benefit of human beings.
Yeah, some of them, like the Third Reich in Germany, they were eugenicists. They believe in eugenics. Like, that is for preserving our species or our group
That's
of.
what they had believed. Yes.
Yes. So there's that. Obviously, animals do practice this in the animal kingdom. They will, like, unalive their young,
If they have, like, disabled or something like that.
Yes. So yeah, I do believe definitely that the specific examples I gave, those are definitely exceptions to the rule, but those are pretty big ones. Because human beings do so many self-destructive actions. I mean, no, they're self-destructive, but we do them anyways. That just goes against self-preservation.
If you don't mind me asking, dude, I think the Christian left. Are you an atheist?
No.
What are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm subscribing to Roman Catholicism. I'll just say that. Yeah.
I'm an atheist, but I'm not one of these new woke atheists. I think a lot of these young atheists today, they're not even really atheists. They're just anti-Christian.
Yeah.
That's kind of really all they are. If you ask them any, like, real atheist arguments, they I don't know. I just don't like Christianity. That's basically what they say. And then I remember watching Christopher Hitchens on YouTube in, like, 2009 and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Like, those are, like, it's a derogatory term, but they're called, like, Reddit tier atheists. Like, You know, the meme, the people with the fedoras, like those are the people who just look bad. They just like they're just really anti-Christian. They just don't like religious people. Um,
I
there's
think
definitely a
religious
lot
people
more.
is perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I think it's actually better for society if it was a Christian society, but a Christian society is somewhat like Sharia law. I don't know the
well,
Christian version of it.
well, I would say in Christian societies is a lot nicer than Sharia law.
Yeah, no, it's a lot nicer.
Yeah,
But the Abrahamic religion, Christianity or Roman Catholicism is I think the difference between Muslims and Christians is that Christians pick and choose what part of their religion they want to practice, and
the
a lot of
bad.
Muslims, a lot of Muslims, they don't care if it's bad; they just still practice it. Look at women's rights in Muslim countries, right? They don't care that it looks bad. They don't care that it looks misogynistic. Christians, on the other hand, they don't want to look misogynistic. Therefore, they ignore a lot of in Deuteronomy. They ignore a lot of
Well, the thing is
a lot
that
of
well,
things.
I'm not. Well, it's a shame that he left. But the thing is, like those laws in the Old Testament do not apply to Christians anymore, which is why like they're not Jewish. Like those laws apply to the ancient Israelites back then, but Christians would say they're under the new covenants, and those laws were not abolished, but they were fulfilled by Jesus. So
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah. He said, I'm not here to change the laws. I'm here to fulfill it." Right?
Yes.
He never said anything about homosexuality. He never said lots
Well,
of things about
well,
just things
Jesus
in general.
himself, but they would believe that Jesus is God. So like, God did condemn these actions in the Old Testament. But I mean,
Like
it's just
which ones?
you say?
I said like which ones?
Specifically homosexuality. Like, it's a shame that he left. But like, yeah. Again, in the Old Testament, obviously, like I'm saying, like basically what they would believe is that things like that are not restated in the New Testament, right? Like the 9 out of the 10 commandments, I believe, are restated in the New Testament, except the Sabbath, right? That's why Christians eat shellfish, because that no longer applies to Christians anymore. That was the law for the ancient Israelites. It's not the case anymore for Christians.
When it comes to the 10 Commandments, aren't the first? It just kind of proves that the God Yahweh, his name is Yahweh, just like
Yeah.
Zeus has a name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh is an extremely jealous God. What are the first 3 commandments? No God before me, no graven images, don't say my name in vain. What does that have to do with morality?
Well, God is this ultimate. He is the ultimate, like, what's it called? What was I saying? He is the ultimate standard for morality, right? Without God, for the Christians would believe, there would be no morality. So, like, basically,
Yeah, I understand that, but what does that have to do with morality?
yeah. Well, again, in their view, we owe God's existence. God created humans to glorify Himself, right? So,
I think you're making my argument for me.
well, again, like, what's the wrong maker of like God being like jealous, like in this
I'm
way?
not saying it's wrong, but I'm just making the claim. Yes, he's a jealous God.
Well,
Is
yeah,
that
the
very
Bible does state this. Yeah, the Bible does state this. Yes.
is that very if you can imagine a all powerful, all knowing human entity, would he come as low as some human emotions that that are bad in general, like jealousy? Is that like not jealousy like, oh, your wife is cheating on you? I'm saying that jealousy is that you can't even draw a picture of me. You
Well,
can't don't say my name in vain.
well, these laws are basically, they do it for, mind you, the 10 Commandments. They do it not. God does it for our own benefit, right? We usually if you transgress against God's laws, it almost ends up blowing up in your face. Um,
Yeah, sometimes it does. It's with the Muslim God, yes. But uh, I I just think the first 10 in the 10 commandments, right? Obviously, there's a few of them that I agree with. Obviously, don't covet, um lust after your neighbor's wife and stuff like that. Don't unalive people. Don't
yeah,
commit theft.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's like four of them. The rest of them,
Well,
or especially the first three,
well,
I just disagree with. I can care less if you. Let's say I was a father, well, I am a father. I have three girls. If I'm gonna make that an eternal rule of my household, right? If I'm gonna send you to the basement for eternity, as long as you're 18, right? And 18, she can leave the house. But if she's 6 years old and she takes my name in vain, um, and I'm gonna send her to the basement until she turns 18. Is what does that make me?
pretty bad. Yeah, very bad. Yeah.
If I
Well, mind you, like that commandment, blasphemy, it's not just like saying his name in vain. Like blasphemy is just attributing God to something that's evil. So, like, let's
yeah,
say,
isn't
yeah,
that the unforgivable sin?
yes, it can be, it can be. But like an example of blasphemy is like what if your daughter, like attributed, slavery, right? Let's say your daughter said, like, you're the reason why slavery existed in history, right? That would be blasphemy in God's eyes. Like you're
Sure, I would have a conversation with her. I would talk to her and show her why she's wrong. I wouldn't be mad at her. If we're having dinner that night, she'd still be invited to dinner. I'm still gonna take her to school the next day, and if new school year or something's coming up, or her friends having a slumber party, I'm still gonna drive her to her friend's slumber party. I'm not gonna be mad at my daughter because she has a different opinion than me. Um,
I mean, would this continue if she's older? It's like what is she?
yeah, sure. No, if my daughter is 27 and I'm I'm a little older, yeah, no, I'd still do the same thing. If she needs a ride to her friend's house, I'll give her a ride. If she's still invited to dinner every time. If she knocks on my door in the middle of the night saying, "Dad, I don't have anywhere to go," she's always invited in. It's perfectly fine. Just because she disagrees with me on certain things, even though I take these things to heart, I'll explain to her why she's wrong, and if she still disagrees, I would open my thought process and have her try to explain to me why she's so passionate about proving me wrong. I understand there's certain things, right? Like,
I mean,
I don't think my daughter should be the P word, PROSTI.
yeah, yeah, I know that. I know what you're saying, but like, I
I
mean,
would be extremely
yeah.
disappointed on that. But like, if my daughter came to me in the middle of the night saying I have nowhere to stay, she come to my house. Obviously, I'm gonna be a lot more forgiving than Yahweh.
Well, I mean, mind you, I know it's just I know it's like just a disagreement. The thing I specifically says, like, if let's just use another example. If somebody attributed their parents' names, like, again, you're the reason why, like, let's just say this person, like, oh, you're the reason why 9/11 happened, right? That would be like blasphemy in God's eyes. Is like you're attributing an evil action to God, because like God is all good. That's what Christians would believe, and you're attributing something evil to Him. Um, it should be like taking His name in vain.
No, are you sure about that? I think blasphemy also includes like saying that you don't believe in him
Well, right. Well, I mean,
and
that would just be
preaching to
like,
other people
well,
why they shouldn't believe in him either.
well, I mean, that would just be like, atheism, just rejecting His existence, which is, yeah, that's true, yeah, but like,
No, I guess you could say atheism is rejecting. I think it's we just haven't been convinced. It's like you haven't been convinced that the God from Hinduism, there's multiple of those gods. You have not been convinced. Let's say you travel to India and you travel to all these different ancient sites, right? And you live around a bunch of Hindus, and they kind of convince you, right, that these gods exist and stuff like that. You're being convinced, right? I have not, living in the United States, been convinced of the Christian God Yahweh, the Abrahamic God Yahweh. I have not been convinced. I used to. I was kind of indoctrinated when I was younger, because I believe that kind of by default because where I was born. Parents, they just told me, oh yeah, no, he's gonna pray to him, stuff like that. And then I got a little older and I realized, okay, so where's the evidence? Have I been shown anything? So I went back to like an empty slate. I just, okay, exploring all different religions, and I have not been convinced that the God Yahweh exists.
All right. Um, that's a fair point. I definitely don't really argue too much on that, but yeah, that's fine. Um, but yeah, I do want to address the point. Like it, like again, I said I subscribe to Roman Catholicism. Like we have a lot of bad actors in the religion. There's definitely a lot of people. We call them cafeteria Catholics, right? They
Wait,
just
what?
like we call them cafeteria Catholics. Like they arbitrarily,
Yo, cafeteria Catholics?
yeah, like they pick and choose. Like you were saying, they pick and choose beliefs off Catholicism that they like and that they don't like. Like, oh, that's a sin. I don't think so. You know, it's like a cafeteria. It's like that even though the church says it's a sin, I don't think it's a sin. So like I'm just gonna live in this lifestyle. That's why we call them cafeteria Catholics.
Yeah. Okay. Can I ask you a question? Just
Yeah.
take out your, just answer it completely honestly. Take out your religion. Just take it out and just give me your answer. Like
Yeah.
what's your name?
Is that?
What's your name?
You just call me Protect. Yeah.
Protect.
Yeah.
Your answer. Do you think that homosexual people should be unalived?
No.
Okay, the Deuteronomy 20:13 says that, and when you ask Jesus in the New Testament about that, he actually never mentions homosexuality, and he says, "I'm not here to change the laws; I'm here to fulfill it." Right. So that's where a lot of Christians and Catholics they pick and choose on what.
Well, like I
what
said,
part.
I subscribe to Catholicism. Just I'm not Catholic myself. I'm not
Oh,
atheist either. Like I subscribe. But as I was saying, it's like the Old Testament, like the punishment for sins in the Old Testament does not apply today. Like they did that to separate themselves from other lands that practice those things. So like while the action would still be a sin, the punishment for those sins is not the unalivement penalty in 2025. So we're under the new covenant. That's what Christians would say. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
not.
understand.
It's not. They're like picking
Okay,
and
so,
choosing. It's like the law. The laws do not apply to them in the same way. They just don't apply to
oh,
them.
I think that please don't take this the wrong way, but I think that's somewhat of a cop out. Okay, then what are you? Are you Christian? Are you what are you? If you're going to say that you just subscribe to it,
Yeah, like
what
I'm
does that
not.
mean?
I haven't been through. Like to be a Catholic, you have to go through RCIA, the process of being a
Yeah, I
Catholic.
went. Yeah, I went to first what communion. I
Yes.
went to do all the whole
Yeah, I've never
thing.
done any of those. I've never done any of those. So like I'm not a
So,
Catholic.
so in, technically, I'm a little more Roman Catholic than you are.
Yeah. I just believe it's a church that Jesus established, but I myself am not in the church. I want to be a Catholic, but I'm not in the church myself. I'm not Catholic myself.
Can I ask you a question? Let's say uh you're in a household with a bunch of brothers and sisters, and your father he's kind of being a kind of somewhat of a douche. He's being this is my way or the highway, stuff like that. And you had a brother that disagreed with him. He never committed violence against your father, but he spoke out um outwardly against your father. And he said, uh, I disagree with how you're raising this household. I think I could run it better. And your father says, then you get out of my house and I'm gonna send you to the basement. And you're gonna run that basement and you're gonna stay there forever. even past when you turn 18, you're gonna stay in that basement forever because you disagree with me. Um, what would you think about your father?
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad. Like, if you're trying to say this for God, this wouldn't apply to God. Like, yeah, that'd be bad for um my father, but like God, mind you, like if you're talking about like hell, right? So the alternative, God, like who gives free will, he's not gonna force people to stay in heaven forever with him, right? That'd be violating their free will, right? So like if you choose not to be, if you choose to reject God, God will give people what they want if they choose to reject him. But that alternative is the lake of fire, right? Like again,
That's not
God.
really a choice. Is it?
Well, it is like you can either choose to be of God or not to choose it. It's just that's a consequence of the choice that's
It's
made.
either bow to me or I burn you at a stake for eternity.
That would still be a
That's
choice.
literally well, yeah. It's not really much of a choice. And the options that I was giving you, well, not the options. I mean the hypothetical I was giving you is your brother, right? You're an angel in heaven before all this happened, and you see your brother Lucifer saying that I disagree with you. I could do it better than you. To your father, and your father says, "I'm gonna send you to hell, and you're gonna just be there." Uh, I I disagree with that. I think you should be able to stand up to your father. I'm not saying this with God. When I'm saying just in general, if one of my daughters stood up to me, and am I gonna send her to the basement and where she's being tortured forever? No.
I mean,
I'm
but
gonna try to explain to her why why my argument is better than hers. And if she wins, then I'll succeed because as a man, I can succeed. And I can't say I'm wrong. So
I
that's
mean,
where I go with the first three commandments. He's a jealous God. And then he says, "Who are you?"
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a human being. I'm a human being, but sometimes your children could be can have a better argument. Your children could be smarter than you. Sometimes your children could be right.
I mean, not God, but God is like all knowing. He knows
Then
everything.
why is he, okay?
But like,
I'm gonna say this argument. Why is he wrong about so many things?
wait, I mean, you'd have to ask someone more knowledgeable than me. Like, why would he be like wrong? Like in the case like that you gave too, like I don't know. If my brother is the devil, then yeah, that would warrant that because the devil. I mean,
Well, the way you say the devil, right? It sounds horrible, but
well,
let's
I mean,
call him by his
Lucifer.
name, Lucifer.
Yeah, but like, like
That's a name for light. It means
right,
the
but
bringer,
like the
the most
devil
beautiful
is.
angel.
I mean, the devil is responsible in a way to the reason why so much suffering exists. He is the reason why. He is partially responsible for Eve.
Live. Oh my god.
Wait, the snake, the serpent, is responsible.
Did he lie?
Yeah, he tricked Eve into eating the fruit, which caused
No,
humans to
he
suffer.
convinced her by telling her the truth. And I think God was Yahweh was keeping them ignorant, and he gave them he said you're gonna be like God. You're not gonna be ignorant no more. Did he say that you're gonna become like a dragon? Did he say that you're gonna be anything like more powerful? No, he said that you're gonna be like God, and you're gonna be knowledgeable, and you're gonna see that you're naked, which that's what they were. Um, God did not like that. He likes keeping people down and being ignorant.
But God created these beings, right? Why would this? Like again, He creates humans for His glory, right? So like, if
Yeah, I
anything,
created my daughters. Should I keep them down?
no, I mean, from the Christian worldview, you didn't create your daughters. Like you were involved with the creation process, but you didn't create your daughters. You participated in the creation, but like from a Christian, God creates like life, not humans. God allows the creation to exist, but
It
right,
kind of sounds like I'm arguing for the for Lucifer, but if you read it, just the Bible unbiasedly, right? Because obviously we were taught that he's bad, stuff like that. I read it. I've read the Bible front to back multiple times. I read it unbiasedly, and then you see God commanding the Israelites to kill the Canaanites.
I have to look at
Yahweh is also he's also a God of war.
I
There's
mean,
no other God that exists today that is commanded more people to kill. And then he gives Job boils. Yahweh is a God of war.
well, I mean,
Jeez.
God. I mean, from how Christians, again, I know there's more people, more knowledgeable than me, but like, this is a problem that I have with this specific Canaanites, right? So, like, one criticism that people make about God not existing is like, if God is so good, why does He allow all of this evil to exist, right? This is one of the few times where God actually does stop evil. So the Canaanites were literally sacrificing their children to I think Molech is a statue of
Is it
Molech.
Molech or is it Baal?
I think it was Molech, yes. Like this
Yeah, it could be.
statue, yeah, the statue had its hands raised out, and they would burn their children on fire, and they would play the music
It's
so
just,
loud they wouldn't hear their children screaming, right? So this is one
so
of
what did he tell? What did he tell the Israelites after the war? He said,
well, hold on.
slaughter all the men.
Well,
The women, use them as your property. They're your property now and stuff like that. And then
I
the
like
children.
again. There's more people knowledgeable than me on it, but like from that perspective, is like this is one of the few times God actually does stop evil, and people still don't like it. So people don't like it when God does nothing and doesn't stop evil, but people still don't like it when God does stop evil. So like there's no pleasing anybody.
Sure, you ask one nation to it's like for example, it's like just say let's say Trump asked Israel to invade Iran, right? Even though Iran is kind of an evil nation, yes, I understand that. But imagine Trump says, okay, after you win the war, just even all the men that still survived, slaughter them, and take the women as your cattle, and then the children, they're gonna be your property, and you can use them as slaves.
I would have to look more into it, but like specifically the women and the men, it's like they would also participate in their children being sacrificed. So in God's eyes, they would not be innocent either. Like again, these people were sacrificing their children to a demon, and to God that is evil, and God has to punish. Like God is also a judge. He is going to punish evil one way or another. And again,
Okay.
this is one of the critiques of Christianity. Like, if God is so good, why does He allow evil? He stopped evil. He just stopped it, but people still don't like it. If God were to stop evil,
In one instance.
exactly. Well, He respects people's free will, and that's one of the critiques of Christianity. Is like, oh, God allows so much evil in the world, but then one of the few times God does stop evil, you still don't like it. So, like, which is it? Do you want God to do nothing?
Okay, what it is that okay, a lot of people claim that well, everybody claims is that God is omniscient and omnibenevolent. These are
Yes.
those words. It means all good and all knowing, right?
Yes.
I think it's contradictory to say that God is all good and an all knowing when He allows, like you said, bad things to happen. Um,
Well, mind
if you
you,
know something bad's gonna happen in the first place, why would you let it happen?
well,
Either He can't be either or. He can't be all knowing if He allows bad things to happen, or He can't be all powerful or all good. I mean, or all three of those things: all powerful, all good, and all knowing. You can't.
necessarily,
It's
not necessarily,
hypocritical
not
to say that.
necessarily, because like the alternative is that God takes away everybody's free will, and then we're just robots. Like, is that what you want?
No, but what I'm saying is that when a tsunami kills like 3 million unalives, my bad, unalives 3 million people, and God knew that from the get go that was gonna happen. He just allows it to happen.
We don't. Well,
He
we don't
knew
know
he knew it
why
was
He
gonna happen.
allows it, right? All we know is just everybody's eventually gonna unalive eventually. Like,
So He can't not be omnibenevolent.
not necessarily. It's like you have to keep in mind that
Unaliving 3 million people is
well,
not good.
hold on. Like the tsunamis, like you have to keep in mind when God created the world, it was perfect. Then, as I was saying, the devil, who's involved with the
And free will
fall,
came, right?
right?
So
Like,
free will is bad.
right. So Adam and Eve ruined the world, and this is the world that we live in. This is just a consequence of the fallen world. So if Adam and Eve never ate from the fruits, there would be no suffering. Suffering wouldn't exist. This world was perfect.
Okay, okay. Let me ask you a question then. Let's say there's a train track, and you're just standing there. I don't know if you smoke cigarettes, but you're smoking a cigarette. Yeah, I know, just hypothetical. And then you see that it's gonna go over a bridge, and that bridge is broken. The bridge is like, if a train comes by, it's gonna crash, and everybody's gonna die. You could pull this lever to turn it to a different way so nobody dies. You hear a train coming. The train's coming. You can pull the lever, or you can just allow it to keep going straight. And if everybody falls off the bridge,
Yeah,
what are you gonna
that's
do?
in that scenario, yeah, I would pull the lever, right? But like, I
Then
usually don't.
why does not Yahweh not do it when it comes to like a tsunami? Why does he, if he knows it's gonna happen, why does he not cure cancer? Why does he allow Lucifer to do all these bad acts? If I had a
Well,
son that was a problem, I'll just get rid of him.
well,
But he allows him to do all these bad things.
again, free will. Like, I'm not gonna say it for every single person, but like, let's just keep in mind, like, out of free will, one reason, not saying all, but one is because cigarettes. One reason that people get cancer is because they smoke. Like, that's the free will that God gave these people, and they abused it, right? All right.
Sure.
But like, if God gives you free will and you mistreat your health, is God to blame for that, or are you to blame for that?
You're 100% for the blame for that.
Yeah. So how is that God's fault? Like, if somebody gets cancer,
Sure, but is everybody who get
no,
everybody
no,
who gets
that's
cancer
no. I'm not
is
saying.
that
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to acknowledge there's a lot of suffering in our world that's out of our control. But then there's a lot of suffering in our world that is in our control. Like,
I think no, I don't. Of course, I agree with you. Obviously, human beings have free will, and we take advantage of that. Obviously, I'm not disagreeing with you with that. But the thing is, if I was an omnibenevolent, omniscient, that means all knowing and all good. Um, and I had the power to change it. I think human beings would be living in heaven,
all right.
no matter what. I don't think that the qualifications to enter a heaven is that some jealous qualifications, as in don't take my name in vain, the first three commandments, right? And I what I'm saying is that I could do it better, but there goes God saying this. Who are you? Yes, I'm your son, and I can do it better. And that's what Lucifer said, and therefore he gets all the bad names, all the bad publicity. And it's like, imagine like you just disagree with the president, and therefore you get all CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. They just give you all the bad press, right? You get all the bad press, and the sheep of the public believes it, and then you get the mass majority of people decide that his son's a horrible human being. His son is bad. Okay, and then when you actually look at when you read the history, when you read what actually happened, who unalived more people, Yahweh or his son? Yahweh unalived more people who did more bad things. Yahweh, Lucifer only gave Job boils when he asked Job to prove his loyalty to Yahweh, and Yahweh still got mad in general, but
Hey, so I'm just gonna call you Way, right? Okay, Way. So, because obviously I'm not gonna call you your name. Really quickly, could you just answer me this one question?
Sure.
How do you know this to be the truth?
Because I've read the Bible, and I put two and two together.
Yeah, sure. Who says that we grant your interpretation of what Scripture is?
Who says? Nobody.
Okay, great. So why should we listen to you?
Why should we listen to you as well?
Yeah, that's the tu quoque fallacy. So I'm asking you, why should we listen to your interpretation of scripture?
I just answered your
Go ahead.
question. There's no reason.
Yeah. So there's no reason to listen to you, right?
Yeah, we're human beings. We can put two and two together.
So there's literally no reason to follow your teachings, right?
I'm not asking anybody to follow my teachings.
How do we know that the things that you are saying in regards to the Bible or the scriptures are true? Just please, really quickly.
Okay, you know, you're right. I'm not asking anybody to subscribe to my beliefs. I'm asking people to.
I'm not even saying that.
unsubscribe.
How do you know? How do you know that what you are saying
I don't
is
know.
true?
That's the reality of things. I don't know things. I don't know if
But you're
Yahweh
proposing
exists.
you're proposing that Yahweh is this evil individual, and that Satan or Lucifer
Somewhat, yes,
is this
somewhat. If you
individual.
read it,
Right, but you're
yes.
proposing these things. These are knowledge claims, right? Sorry, I'm eating
No, I'm not.
pork rinds.
I'm proposing it, but I'm not exclusively claiming that it's fact. I'm letting other human beings put it two and two together. Yes.
Right, but you're making an argument, correct?
I'm making like what is
You're giving a
no?
proposition.
The argument would be that he's evil. Yahweh is evil. No, I'm not making that claim.
No, you're giving a proposition, which is that Lucifer
It's an
would be the
open
one who is.
I'm
Do you
letting
know what a
people.
proposition is?
Okay, well, I might have my terminology wrong, but what I'm saying is I'm saying things out loud. Did I say Lucifer was good and Yahweh was evil?
No,
No,
you
no,
said
no.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
implying it.
I mean, you did explicitly say that Yahweh was evil. Yes, you did say that. You didn't explicitly
my
say
bad.
that
I might have
Lucifer was
forgot that.
good, but
I'm
what you
sorry.
said was that Lucifer was trying to bring
Like
this
earlier he
sort of.
said, earlier he says like he tried to bring them the truth. It's like God was like putting them down because like, he's saying God was a jealous
Yeah,
God.
it's called Gnosticism. Yeah,
God,
this is
yeah, God is it.
Gnosticism.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Narcissism.
yeah. I don't think
Do you
you know
think
what
that
Gnosticism
do you think
is,
that
but
Jesus and Lucifer were
Fortress
brothers, bro?
handle it.
Handle it.
Yeah. Do you think that Jesus and Lucifer were brothers?
No, I do not.
Do you
No, he's not
how
a
is
Mormon.
he
He's a Gnostic, dude. He believes in the demiurge. He believes that Yahweh is the evil god of the
Wait,
Old
wait a
Testament.
second. I'm an atheist that reads the Bible like it's like just a book, any other book, right? And I read it and I kind of like maybe okay, who did more evil things?
Right,
Maybe
and
it was
so
by
Yahweh.
what
yeah,
standard
sure.
are you
So what
calling
I'm
something
asking you
evil?
is that that's yeah, like bruh. Go ahead,
Okay,
Fortress.
who
I've done too
unalived
much
more
chatting.
people, Yahweh or Lucifer?
Why is okay, let me just okay, I'll just say, sure, God did. Why is unaliving people bad?
Why is unaliving people bad?
Yeah.
And it's okay, unaliving people in the sense where if somebody did something bad, they should be unalived. Yeah, sure.
Why
But
should they?
innocent people,
Yeah,
unaliving
why
innocent
should they?
people is pretty bad, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
why is it
Yes.
bad though? Why is it bad?
Are you gonna give me the objective argument? Sure. I guess it's I don't know. Other species don't do it. I don't. I can't give you an argument.
Deprivation. You could say that.
I don't know. I can't give you an argument for why
Yeah,
unaliving
so
innocent people is bad.
yeah, so that's the issue, right? Like you don't have a standard by which and to call anything good or bad, right? So when you presuppose something, like when you say, "Oh, who unalives
It's called
more
the golden
innocent
rule.
people?"
Yes.
Yeah, but that's okay. What do you understand of the golden rule, though? What does that mean?
I think man, this is like an hour ago when I was explaining. Understanding the consequence of your actions is pretty a human thing. Also the golden rule.
What is
Uh,
it?
don't do things to other people that
Well,
you
that'd
wouldn't
be
want
the
to be
silver
done to
rule.
yourself.
That'd be the. I mean, the golden rule is just treat people the way you want to be treated.
Wait, so
Yeah, there
treat
you go.
people
There
the
you
way
go.
I want to be treated. So if I'm a masochist and I want to harm myself, should I then harm other people?
That's what we call social. Bro, we live in a society.
But you
Obviously,
just said do unto others what you
unaliving,
want to be done unto you. So
and
I
then
would harm
understanding the
myself.
consequences of your actions. Also, that those two
Well,
are
well,
not
well, dude.
But
Well,
those
I don't want to say your
exclusive
name
to
either,
each
but
other.
like, you can just say we live in a society that's like subscribes to masochism.
Yeah, you
Like,
could do that, but other people don't like that as
no,
well.
I just that's why I stipulated you can live in a society where most
Okay,
people
And the
agree to
vast
it.
majority of people
but
in this
but those
society don't
two
believe
So
in
what
your
those
makes
two
God.
that
laws
wrong
are in
though?
contradiction,
That's the
though.
thing.
The thing
You're
is,
saying
the
you can
vast
do this
majority of
thing
people in
because this
our world don't believe in your God, yet they
that's an
don't
appeal to
fight each other.
majority or an
It is an
appeal to
appeal to
consensus,
majority.
bro.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's a fallacy. Great, thank you for admitting that. Yes.
Sure.
No, it's like you understand that the golden rule of do unto others what you want to be done unto you, and then on the other hand, you say balancing consequences and understanding consequences. Those two rules can be in opposition to each other, right? So, in the example that I gave, let's say I'm a masochist and I get off from being harmed, like I like self harm, and because of that, I harm someone else. But then the consequence is that I'm aware the other guy like doesn't like to be harmed. Which rule should win?
Which rule overpowers the other? I would think
Yeah,
understanding the
no. Which rule
consequences.
should win? Should I pick the golden rule and harm him, or should I pick the consequences and not harm him?
That's the difference between a sociopath and an actual regular human being.
It's
If you
gonna be
harm another
appeal to
person, the
majority, though.
consequence is that you're gonna end up in jail, and most people don't want to end up in jail, so they
Yeah,
understand the
let's say,
consequences of their actions. Yes.
yeah. Let's say if there was no law against it, if there are no consequences for me
Then
harming him, which one should I do?
then society wouldn't propagate. Most human beings would not
What's
rather
wrong
not
with
live
not
in
propagating
society.
society? Why is that bad?
Why is that bad? Because I guess it comes to the point where it's biological. 'Cause that's what
Yeah,
most animals
but you
do,
would
and
agree
they
that
don't
just
have.
because you would agree that something is just because something is in our biology doesn't mean that it's good, right?
Sure. Are you saying that without okay, I know where you're going with this because I've debated with so many Christians. You're saying that without God, there's no grounding in standing with morality. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And
And what?
okay, so there's a big leap from having a God outside of our existence versus going to the Christian God, right? That's a big leap, right?
Oh
You
no,
could
right
say
now
that
we're
there's a
just talking about
God
any
There's
god.
not actually.
I'm just talking about any god,
versus a
not
God that
even.
cares what you
Be
ate
right
on
back.
Friday.
Be right back.
It's a big God.
No
I
problem.
don't even need to prove the specific Christian god now. I'm just asking you for the proof of any god, like
No,
any
no, no.
god.
The one that's making the claim is you. You're the one that believes in a God. I'm saying I just don't believe in a God.
No,
Can
bro.
you prove that
No,
exists?
oh my god, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just going to grant you that we aren't talking specifically about the Christian God. My claim is that you can't ground morality without God. So right now, I'm just going to prove to you any God. Yeah. How do you ground your claim without a God? It doesn't
Okay,
matter what
so
God it is.
are you saying that I cannot ground morality without deism or theism?
Either one. It doesn't matter actually to this argument.
No, there's
Either
actually a
one.
big difference between deism and theism.
No,
There's a
yeah,
huge
I know the difference. I'm just asking you, you can pick either deism or theism. The argument is the same.
Okay. Like I said, my only answer is the golden rule and understanding the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, but we've been through that in a case where the golden rule and your consequences principle
They
conflict.
kind of help each
Which
other
one
out.
wins? Which one wins if it conflicts?
It does it. Understanding the consequence of your actions kind of wins. Yes.
Why?
Why? Because if golden rule, like you said, if a masochist does a thing to another person, understanding his consequences, I don't think he wants to spend the rest of his life in jail, so he's not going to do that. It's called
What if
understanding the
there,
consequences
what
of
if
your
there
actions.
was no threat of incarceration?
Then,
What if incarceration
but
wasn't
society
a thing?
would not propagate, and we probably all die off if people were
What's
living.
wrong with that?
It's called anarchism.
What's wrong with that?
That's called anarchism. What's wrong with
Yes,
that?
what's
Then,
wrong with that in your
what's wrong with
worldview?
that is that society does not continue to propagate.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Objectively, nothing. Yes, we
What
just
the
all
fuck?
die. Yes, we just all unalive.
Okay, then you can't use that as a defense.
What do you mean?
You just said objectively there's nothing wrong with society
Yeah,
unaliving.
but subjectively, in the vast majority, the extremely vast majority of people would disagree with that. Yes,
That's going to
so
be an
only a
appeal to
small
majority. It's a
percentage of people.
fallacy.
Oh, jeez,
That's
it's
a
not an appeal.
fallacy.
That's not an appeal to the That's not
Yes,
an
it
appeal to
is.
emotion. Neither is that an appeal to the majority. No,
That is.
that's
You just
I
said if
just
the
because I didn't
majority
say
of
that was
people feel this way.
objective. I said that's subjective, obviously.
Yeah,
So
but who cares about your subjective opinion? So, for example,
so
your
maybe
subjective opinion is going to reduce
morality is
your
not
preferences.
objective. Maybe it's subjective. Maybe. Yes.
Okay, like I just granted you that's true. Like if morality is subjective, all you're really saying is that it's my preferences that we do this thing. So I'm
Are you
just going
saying
to
that
say,
without a God we don't have morality? Is that what you're saying?
bro, this
No,
was
you
my thesis
obviously
statement, dude.
you've been saying this is your
This was a
thesis.
thesis
Obviously you've been
statement.
saying that.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you okay? So you go from the jump, right? From deism, right? Because it's a deist that and then you go to theism, which a specific God. I don't know how you picked your God. Maybe because the landmark where you were born. You're born in where were you born? It just so happens that you were born in that time frame and that landmark that you believe in your specific God. Bro,
Yeah,
you do
sure.
that sound, and I feel the same way when I feel
Bro,
the same
because
way.
like
I look
because
at you like you believe in Santa Claus. It's the same
bro,
thing.
you went back. Like here's the thing, like I was willing to even grant you that I am delusional and that God doesn't exist. All this means is that I am a subjective delusional moralist and you are a subjective delusional moralist, in which case you still cannot ground anything in morality. If we are both subjectivists, it doesn't do anything for your position.
Okay? I guess you're right. I'm not granting immorality. You said I'm not granting immorality?
No. So okay. So if I don't believe in God, and let's say the God isn't real, he doesn't exist. Yeah. This just means I'm delusional, and everything is down to my preferences, right? But you
Sure.
hold the same position.
No, I do not.
Everything is also down to your preferences.
No. Okay. I think
Okay,
you
give
might
me an
have.
example of something that's not. I'll show you how it is.
Wait, no. I was gonna clarify something. I think I don't make the claim that your God does not exist. I
No,
just don't
I'm
accept the
just
claim that
granting
your
you
God
the
exists.
claim. I'm just granting
I'm
you
not.
the.
Yeah, you're trying to grant me the claim, but I'm not making the claim in general. I just don't accept your claim. You're the one with the burden of proof.
What?
Yes,
I'm
I'm not
giving
making
you.
the claim that God doesn't exist.
Yeah, I
You're
know.
making the claim that your God exists.
Yeah, I'm
Therefore,
helping your position. I'm helping you in your position, right? Because you're saying that
my
I ground
position
my
is
belief.
in opposition towards yours. Is you're
Yeah,
saying that
yes.
your God exists.
You're saying that you don't need to have God to have morality. I say, fine, let's just assume that God doesn't exist. Right? So this would be granting your claim. I'm granting your claim that even if God didn't exist, you still can't prove that your morality is superior to mine.
It doesn't have to be superior. A B
Then
plus
why
is
should I
still a
listen to
fucking
you when
passing
you say
grade.
anything?
A B
Why
plus
should
is
I?
still a passing grade.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
if
why
yours
should
an
I
A
listen
plus,
to you?
a B plus is still a passing grade.
Yeah, then
Yes.
why should I listen to you when you say this is good or this is bad or we should do
Because
this or we should do this? It's
your
just as
God,
valid as mine.
and that's where the difference between theism and deism is you went to theism and you believe in a specific God, and your specific God is extremely immoral. Extremely immoral.
Bro, I'm granting you that no God
Leviticus
exists.
20:13.
Oh
We
my
should burn.
God,
We
holy
should unalive
shit, man.
homosexual people.
Holy shit. Dude, I'm granting you that God does not exist. I'm invalidating my own position for the purposes of this argument. I'm just showing you that even without my position in opposition to
Yeah,
yours,
no.
your
Okay, no,
position is
I'll give
still
it to you.
not
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to
justifiable.
you. The Christian morality, in some sense, obviously the ones that they ignore, is not good. But the Christian morality is a little better than the atheist morality. Why? You say it because we cannot ground our morality.
Okay,
That's
but
where
let's
the
do this.
default
Let's do
position
this.
comes
Can
from.
you repeat my argument back to me?
You're saying that the atheists cannot ground their morality. Therefore, the Christian morality, or I don't know what religion you believe in, but the Christian morality is better.
No, this is not my. Oh my god. I'm saying that even if we assume, like, we're not even talking about Christian morality, we're not talking about my position.
Oh no! You're saying that I cannot ground my morality. Yeah, what did I just say? I said we cannot ground
No.
my morality.
Yeah, but I'm assuming even if I also cannot ground my morality, and everyone is a subjectivist, all it means is that your claims of what is good and bad is just as valid as my claim.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So under your framework, even if God did not exist, even if theism is false or deism is false, both are false.
Well,
Morality
wait,
is
dude.
still not
Wait.
justifiable
I'm
under your
sorry.
framework.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, dude. It's just I was coming from the sorry, I've been drinking a little too much
No, it's
wine
fine.
tonight.
It's fine. Don't worry.
I was drinking a little too much wine tonight, and I was thinking that you're one of those militant Christians. I'm sorry for coming
No,
back
it's
at
fine.
you
It's
as a
fine. It's fine,
militant
dude. We're
atheist.
just having a conversation. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
If we're having just a conversation, yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, so that's the thing. Like, it's basically anytime, then that means anytime, like, you come up or an atheist comes up and they say abortion is moral, we should have abortion, I'm just going to dismiss it. Because your claim is no more valid than my claim of saying it is immoral, right?
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. You're right then. Okay, let's take out the immorality. Hey, did you want to have the abortion debate?
Well, that was the original point of the live. But
That
then-
is my argument for abortion, by the way. Like,
yeah, sure. No, I think it is a life. It is bad taking it. Yeah, no, of course it's bad. But I think it's.
Are you pro-choice?
Yes, I am. Not because I know it correlates, right? You know, atheism. I'm not woke at all. I don't like wokeism. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm more a centrist, a libertarian. But the thing is, you know that flag, "Don't tread on me." I think one
the
human
Gestapo's flag, whatever they call it, right?
yeah, no, it's the yellow flag.
Yeah, with
do
the
not
snake.
tread on
Yeah.
me, right? I think that one human being, whether the one human being like has like the brain capacity to actually choose what they're doing, I think one human being does not have the right to use another human being's body without their choice.
Why?
Because because you're using another human being's body without their choice.
That's circular.
Literally what's happening.
It's circular, right? So you're saying we shouldn't do this because we shouldn't do this, right? This is like
No, we shouldn't do this because one human being. It would be circular if that human being was using their body as well. But one human being that's not using anybody's body is
but why
being
is that
used
bad?
by another human being that's using their body. Right?
Why is
That's
that bad?
literally what's happening.
Why is that bad?
So, let's say one human being lives in one continent that's completely nothing matters. It's completely, and then another human being comes by and says, "I'm gonna use your body without your consent," and stuff like that. Should that be perfectly fine? I
Why would
understand
that be
it's a
bad from
baby.
your? Why would that be bad from your position? Remember, I
From
told
my
you you
position,
can never tell anyone that they can or cannot do anything. You can
they're
never
literally
recommend
using
that
their
they will
body.
do anything.
I have 3 daughters. My the mother of my children, they're pro-life. Well, they're pro-choice, but they're pro-life for themselves.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, the mother of my children are she's she's pro-life, but for herself. I mean, when it comes to this policy, I would say that she's pro-choice because she doesn't care what other women do. But
Okay, so this doesn't really make sense to me because okay. This is like saying I would never grape a woman, but other people graping women, that's their decision. Like it doesn't like I don't
exactly, it's
understand.
called freedom. Yes, that sounds horrible. I understand that sounds horrible.
Whoa, wait, bro. Okay,
That sounds horrible.
you're a bit intoxicated now, yeah. So I
Not
just
really.
want to make sure you
Mr. Fortress,
understand the
that was
position.
Mr. Fortress. That was his criticism of God, because God allows free will. So, like under your worldview, you're criticizing God for allowing free will, but then you just said because of freedom. So, like
Yeah,
under
I
your
don't
own
really
world.
understand. Yeah, yeah, I don't
Wait.
really understand the position.
Exactly. Okay, wait, okay. I'll explain it to you guys. Graping somebody is taking advantage of their body without their consent, right?
Why is that
I'm
bad?
not comparing it to grape. What I'm trying to say is that I think that we should not allow other human beings to take advantage of other human beings' bodies, right?
Yeah, but why?
Because that's I don't. I really have to explain myself in that situation.
Yes.
Grape is bad. Grape is taking advantage of another human being's body without their consent.
Why is that bad?
I'm not trying to compare it. Wait, what? What did you
Why
say?
is that bad? Why is that bad?
Why is
from
grape
your
bad?
worldview? From your position, why is that bad? I can tell you why it's bad from my position. Why is it bad from your position?
Wait. Oh, let's clear this up. My
Wait, so you're
worldview,
an
I have a
atheist?
worldview as if I'm an atheist. No. I don't
Yes.
subscribe to an atheist religion. I'm just a regular
Right,
human
but
being. I could pick and
right. Wait,
choose
hold on. But
Christian
if you're an
values, Muslim values, atheist
So you're
values. There's a
perennialist.
difference.
You're
No, there's a
perennialist.
difference. Yes.
Yeah, you're
No, I'm not an
perennialist.
atheist. I'm a non-believer. That's a different word for atheist. I just
What?
I don't subscribe to your religion, right? So I can pick and choose whichever. I'm not like a Republican where I have to subscribe to all the Republican values.
Correct. You are a
Yes.
perennialist.
No.
You
I'm
pick and choose
an
things from within.
independent. I could pick and choose which things, dude. My worldview. You're saying
Yeah,
that
but
I have a worldview, as in I have to pick and choose. I mean, I have to
yeah, but bro, here's
I have
the
to
thing, right? If you
subscribe
concede
to
if you
certain
concede
things.
that you pick and choose which aspects of each religion to follow, then this immediately reveals that everything is down to your preferences, right? So if it's all down to your preferences, I'm just gonna reject all of it based on my preferences. It's my preference
Sure, and
not
I'll
to
just
follow your
reject your
preference.
preferences. I think the difference is that let's say you're an older guy. Let's say you're an older guy, and your daughter brought home a guy, right? He's a good guy.
This is gonna be an emotional appeal, bro.
No, yeah, no. Obviously, I'm going to the emotional appeal. But he's an atheist. Would you let your daughter date him?
Sure. Why not? But
I feel the same way.
Yeah, sure. Why?
Because I don't know. I have no opinion about it.
What if she can?
Have a
What if she
debate.
can bring him to Christ? Would that be a good
No,
thing?
what
Would
what
be
I
a
was
wonderful
saying
thing?
is that if she brought home a Christian guy, sure, that's fun. I'd probably even go to church with him. Why not? Because I'm trying to be convinced, but I still haven't been convinced. That's the thing.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just going to argue from the position that even if you think that Christianity is invalid, right?
I don't think it's
Even
invalid.
based,
Obviously, it's valid. It's been going around for
but you said you're
2,000.
no. When I say invalid, I'm talking about because you're having trouble believing in God now, right?
Having trouble. No, I just haven't been convinced that Yahweh is a real God. Just like
Yeah,
the
that's
way
what I
you
mean.
believe in Zeus.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
You
what I
don't
mean.
believe in Zeus. I don't
No,
believe in Yahweh.
yeah, that's what I mean. So you're having trouble believing, right, when it comes to God, right? So
Stepping,
if
yes.
so if that's the case, then let's just take the belief part out of it. Let's argue it from a secular perspective, right? From a secular perspective, I
Okay.
mean, you already conceded this just now in the argument. You think that Christian values are better than atheist values. So
Sure,
even
yeah,
if
that's
God
good.
was... Sorry?
No, okay. We could still live in a secular society with Christian values. It doesn't mean that
What is...
Yahweh exists.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just saying, let's just say he doesn't exist. But Christian values, through the belief in God, even though he doesn't really exist in this hypothetical, are better than atheist values as you have conceded.
There's no such
So why
thing
would
as
you not
atheist
be a
values.
Christian?
The lack of belief? No,
Okay,
what I
just say
think- what I
secular humanism. Just that's what he means. Just say that.
I
Okay,
guess,
yeah,
but there's no such thing as atheist values. It's saying
No,
that
secular
I don't believe in
values,
Santa
secular
Claus, therefore
humanist values,
there's
bro.
anti-Santa Claus values. What?
Yeah, humanist values, bro. Whatever values that the secular society can reproduce, you have said are worse than societies which hold Christian values. So why would you not be Christian? Like, even if God doesn't exist, it still produces better
It's called
results.
having a choice, and Yahweh doesn't give me a choice. He says it's my way or the highway.
No, I'm just assuming that he doesn't exist. Oh my god.
No. Oh, okay. Assuming he doesn't exist, right? Yeah, that's a big thing, right? No, you're right. I kind of illogically, I kind of answered that question wrong, but that's a
I'm
big
saying
thing.
that even if
I'm
he
kind of
doesn't
trying to
exist,
prove that it's okay to like, or you don't have to live. You can live secularly and just be perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. What's wrong with that? The most advanced nations in the world are secular.
what does this have?
The most poorest countries in the world are the most religious.
Can you repeat my argument back to me?
You're asking me. If it's better to live in a Christian society and be Christian, then why are you choosing to be secular? What I'm saying is that it should be fun. Yeah, no, and then I seceded saying that yeah, obviously people who are secular, non-secular, are better off.
Which countries are you referring to when you say that secular countries are better off?
Like China or North Korea.
The United
What about-
States,
The
Japan,
United States is not
Sweden.
a secular nation, dude.
and the most
At least
non-secular,
now it is, but it wasn't founded as a secular nation. Neither was the UK.
like
Probably
Israel.
not successful. Well, dude, Israel
Bro,
didn't start off as a secular nation either.
Bro, the most successful countries are secular.
Bro, like, are you sure you want to bring up China?
I'm gonna
as
bring
an
up my
example?
laptop and we're gonna do the research together.
No,
I mean,
no, we can-
China, like I mean, obviously the Communist Party, the way it is now, is secular. But like,
I completely disagree with communism. I extremely hate
yeah, but like
communism.
that's a secular country. I mean, do you want us to survive that?
Protect. Are you sure you want to bring up South Korea as an example?
No.
Because there's a
Actually, South
stat
Korea's
right
doing
now
pretty
on
well.
South Korea. There is a stat about South Korea that I would use right now that will completely invalidate any claim that you have. What's the
So
birth
what you're
rate of
telling me is
South Korea?
that the countries that believe in religion are doing better than the ones that don't in per capita. Right?
I wouldn't say that. It really depends on the country. I would say Liechtenstein has a very high per capita.
So why is it that countries that become more secular do better in general? Why is that?
They're not. There is one statistic that I will use right now to show you that secular countries are not doing better. If you
Then why
want
is
one
the
of the
poorest country-
examples that was given just now was South Korea. Can you tell me what the birth rate of South Korea is now?
Very low.
Anyway, I didn't even mention South Korea. I understand that it's really low, but I didn't even mention.
Well, I
South
mentioned
Korea.
North Korea specifically, but yeah, South Korea.
Protect. There's no way you think that North Korea is a successful country.
No, I'm just saying by his standard. If you're saying like a secular country is good, I'm saying by his.
Oh
standard.
yeah. Oh okay. I get you now.
Like the United States.
No, like by your standard, because North Korea and China are not religious countries.
Yeah.
No. Fuck North Korea.
China
but,
as well.
like,
dude.
yeah, I don't like the.
I'm telling you this as a Chinese man, dude. Like
You're
if
Chinese
you
the
know-
whole time. I thought you were
Yes.
like Brazilian or something, dude.
No, dude. Like that's why I was so surprised when you started bringing up Asian countries, dude. Like it's not going to go well if you bring up Asian countries as a supporting evidence for
Okay, wait.
successful secular countries, man.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You seem like a really intelligent dude.
I'm not. I'm just a regular
glad,
guy, bro.
I'm glad having a conversation with you, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Yeah, you too, dude. It's just a
I mean, the
compliment.
birth rate is still very low in South Korea. That's the point.
It's 0.7, by the way.
Yeah, you want to know why? Because that word, what's the word called? Guys that stay inside and play video games all day. There's a word for it in Korean.
Incels.
No, that's the American.
No,
word.
I
It's,
mean, there's a lot of factors. Definitely, this live is clearly contributing to that as well. Abortion obviously contributes to that as well.
Hey, I'm the one with 3 daughters.
I would say South
I'm
Korea
only
is
28.
basically like America, very liberal. Not to the same degree, but still.
I'll tell you right now, you guys, I really don't like liberals. I don't like wokeism.
Good.
I'm one of the old. I think
supporting
I told this guy
abortion,
earlier,
man. It's a
I'm one of the old school.
Yeah,
I'm one of
like
the old school.
well, here's the thing. You say you don't like liberals. Like supporting abortion is like the default liberal position. I would say you can't be liberal if you don't support abortion.
Yeah. There are very few
You can be
positions.
libertarian.
You're not libertarian because.
Of course, I'm libertarian. What do you mean?
Okay. Well,
I
if you're
want my gay neighbor to defend his weed farm with his AR-15. Yes.
it's not necessarily libertarian though.
Like I would say like liberal, as he was Richard Forrest was going to say. Like I would say there's 2 positions for you to be liberal. Like you either support abortion, and you either support the T topic, right? If you are against these, then they will not consider you one of them.
No, and you believe in the fucking CRT.
Yes.
I don't support abortion.
You just
But
did.
I'm not gonna tell a woman make it illegal, saying that she can't do.
That means you
like,
support
okay,
it. Yes, that means you support it. Yes.
Yeah. In this
Okay.
case, inaction would be supporting.
So, do you think
Inaction
that
would be
women should be arrested for unalive, and be put to prison? For the rest of their lives?
Yes.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
Well, so here's the thing, bro. Like, okay, before you dismiss it, if you are a libertarian and you hold the freedom principle above everything, does that freedom also include the freedom to commit crimes on other people? No, right?
Yeah, when the other, but when the other human being is using another human being's body for, without consent, yes, I agree with you.
No. The consent was already assented to when she had sex.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Wait,
No, it wasn't. What about women that don't know that it was happening?
Well, then you shouldn't have had. You know what the best. You know
What
what
do you
the
mean? Are
best
you talking about
contraceptive
rape
is?
victims?
You know what
Are
the
you
best
saying that's
contraceptive
all-
is, bro? Not
Wait
having
a second. Are
sex.
you saying that rape victims should not be able to?
No, he's not saying that, but he's specifically
No.
addressing causal. So like,
Yeah.
if you did this action where you knew that a being could be put into a state of dependency.
But a lot of women don't know. At 16 years old, you really think that you know this?
No, dude, that's
In
not true.
2025, every single person knows that. Like
Dude,
people.
I would say like 90% of people.
No,
know, yeah.
like, no. People in tribal societies without modern technology know that. There's no reason why.
So, bro, I'm 27. Yeah, I was
I'm
taught
28.
about SMEX
What
ed
are you, 90?
when I was 12,
97?
98,
Yes.
98.
Oh, I'm 96.
So you're 2 years older than me. So,
Whoa.
like, I learned about SMEX ed and the reproductive cycle when I was 12. It was a mandatory part of my course curriculum.
Yeah, I learned it
Primary six.
probably when I was in freshman year of high school. Yeah.
So there's no way in hell you can tell me that a woman does not understand putting the PP in the VV leads to baby.
Yeah, but you have to understand. You cannot force. Okay, yeah, you're accepting that, right? But it's called copying out, right? I don't. I don't want to engage with this other human being that's taking my life force away.
Then you shouldn't have had SMEX.
So what should they do if they just want to cop out of it? There's no cop out. There's no.
Here's your options. You can either not have SMEX, or you can just deal with consequences.
Yeah,
and just,
okay, it's called accountability, right? And women cannot deal with accountability, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, what if you just want to cop out, right? So like, what do? You just kill yourself?
That
No,
that
no,
would
well,
be
don't say
dealing
that.
with. That would be
So
not
what do you
taking
do?
accountability. That would not be taking accountability.
A lot of women cannot take accountability. So right. So what do you
Yes.
do?
Then get accountable. Then get accountable. That's simple.
Then
So you're
stop.
forcing women to do something that they don't want to do.
What's
No,
what's
no,
the wrong
because it
reason?
was a choice. It was a choice for them to take the action that would lead to a
Sure,
risk
why
of
not?
X
But what I'm saying is
consequence.
that you're still forcing women to take accountability, and that's a big problem.
I mean, from your
Wait,
worldview,
wait. Hang on.
From my world,
Did
I
you
don't have a
just
worldview.
did you just say it is an issue to make people take accountability for their actions?
No, I'm not saying it's an issue. What I'm saying is that it's an issue for a lot of people. It's not
What's
an issue
wrong
for
with
me.
forcing women to take
It's not an issue for
accountability,
me.
bro? So, but
Okay,
who
so you're
cares?
forcing them, right? So what if they don't comply, right? So you're saying that send them in prison for the rest of their lives?
Sure.
Oh, Jesus
Why would that
Christ!
be bad? Why would
There's
that be
like 3
bad?
million abortions every year. You're gonna send 3 million women to that's like
Yeah,
10% of the population.
Yeah, maybe if we took a harder stance against women all across the world, because make no mistake, these rules on abortion where the man is solely responsible for the kid and he has no say in the abortion, this is applicable across every single modern country in the world. I know because I live in a 12-hour time difference from you, and my country has the same thing, right? It's the exact same thing. So my question is, why is it okay to hold men accountable but not women?
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine. Like I'm even willing to take like the really stupid, like not
No. Okay, no. So how do you solve it? How do you solve it? You just say her
You
body.
start holding women accountable. You
No,
start-
my wallet, my choice. Right. So like, if you're gonna give women the rights to abortion, we'll give them then men don't have to pay child support. That's perfectly fine.
I mean, I'm actually okay with it because I think it'll be a deterrent either way, right?
Sure,
So
man.
if women realize that they don't get a fucking free pass at child support, I think if then, like, especially if they're poorer, they're probably not gonna want to take the risk in the first place. So it solves the problem either way. Sure, no problem.
I mean, wouldn't I just give them more of an incentive to get the abortion? If that's the case. Like, okay, there's no father who's going to be there, so just you could argue that could give them more of an incentive to get the abortion.
No. Then what I mean is that you limit abortion on top of that.
Right.
So then the women has pressure from both sides.
Right.
Right. So on top
Your
of
body,
that,
your
you limit-
choice. My wallet, my choice. There it is. Solves all the problems.
Yeah, no, I mean, it funnels people plus limiting abortions, yeah. Because if you don't limit abortions, then what's going to happen is that the external pressure from the man not being accountable for child support is going to push the woman closer to abortions, which is what.
Actually, I think that would incentivize men to do it more.
Exactly, so that's not a good thing. So what you need to do is to limit abortions as well at the same time. So then women and whoever the couple is who decides to have a kid doesn't get a free pass through abortion, right? Especially, look, okay, let me ask you this, like, do you think promiscuity is a good thing?
For marriage, no. For the
No,
average
just
man, yeah.
just for people, like, in general, like, do you think it's a good idea for, like, multiple people to be going out and banging each other left, right, center? Is that a good thing?
Sure, it's fine. For marriage, no.
No, come on. Bad.
Come on, man.
Chances of
Yeah,
abortion.
who wants to marry an extremely promiscuous woman? Obviously, nobody.
Just in
I
general.
don't.
Just in general.
No. He's misunderstanding. the
It's
question.
good for me. I don't know about you.
So, you think it's a good thing to go out and for women to go out at the same time and bang as many people as they can? You think that's a good thing?
Oh, I went out last night and I got laid. I don't know about you, but yeah, no, I think it's somewhat of a good thing. But when it comes to marriage, no, nobody wants to marry
Yeah, but
these
how?
women.
Yeah, but bro, like, when it comes to marriage, you say you don't want to marry a promiscuous woman. What do you think the effect of people going around banging is? You're naturally only going
For
to say
men,
it for women.
for
who-
men, it's not that bad. For women, I think it negatively affects them. Yes.
I know, but like, if you go around banging all these women, then later, if you want to get married, what's going to happen to the women that you can select from? They're all going to be high body count women, right? Because you've already banged them, right? Everyone bangs them, right?
Sure, but that's
And you're
I'm
defeating
arguing
your own
for
claim.
the. What I'm arguing for is that just don't get married.
But you, so
Propagate,
you'd be okay
have
with,
children, yes. Just don't get married. That's perfectly fine.
so you'd be okay with getting in a relationship with a woman with a 5,000 body count as
Who
long
said
as you
I
don't
was
get
gonna get a
married?
relationship with her?
How you gonna have kids otherwise, bro?
Uh, just have kids. Just finish in his in her as many times as you want.
And then she's not part of the family anymore. So like you would
No, it's
advocate
fine.
for single
We could,
parent households?
I know I could respect her as a family member. I could
That's
respect her.
assuming she doesn't unalive them too.
Yeah, like wait,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
actually
what?
really confused. Like, are you advocating for single parent households?
No, I'm co-parenting isn't really it's not really that bad. Co-parenting?
Yeah, so I mean so you'd have to be in a relationship with a woman, right?
For co-parenting, you just you get them for 1 week, they get them for the other week, just like how I do it. Perfectly
But
fine.
that would be a relationship. You would still hold some kind of relationship with the mother.
No, not
All
really.
these
We don't
things
hold a
are.
relationship. It's I get my children. I don't even talk to her. I communicate through her grandparents. Right? Oh, I'm gonna drop them off at this point, whatever. And then I get them, and then next week they get them, stuff like that. It's perfectly fine.
Do you think it's okay for the kids to be living that kind of segmented lifestyle where they only have at either point in time relations with their mom on the female end, and then relations with the father on the other end?
I
They
think
don't
they'll
get
kind
to
of
see
grow
the
up and
mother and
realize
father
that
together.
it's that I was kind of right about a lot of things. Growing up with their mom and bringing a bunch of other dudes over and stuff like that. I think they're gonna grow up realizing that Dad was kind of right. That their mom is kind of a
What do you think that's going to do to
promiscuous
their
woman.
psychology, though? What do you think that's going to do to their
Oh,
psychology?
okay. Then would you want to marry a promiscuous woman? You don't have a lot of options in today's day and age. I think a lot of
No, I don't.
conservatives
That's
like
why.
yourself,
That's
you're
why
not
we
out
need to.
in the
That's why we need to
dating.
bring
You're
back
not
non-promiscuity.
okay. Sure, but you're not out in the dating market like I
Yes,
am.
I am. What do you
You're
mean?
out. Okay, so you're saying that you're meeting a bunch of you're meeting a bunch of conservative women that are marriage material.
No, I'm on Hinge
No, I
currently
never
right
made that
now.
claim.
I'm looking for women who share my values on Hinge. I mean, they say they're Catholic or conservative. I would say they're just saying that to attract guys. I don't think they actually believe in these values. But like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you're arguing for a point that I never
I think a
made.
lot of conservatives are like out of date when it comes to like really dating. Like, come on, bro. There's so many women out there. Obviously, a lot of women are gorgeous and stuff like that. But like, come on, dude, you're not out there dating like the way we are. And like, it just this is not like a front. No, this is a reaction towards all the women that are out there today. It's like, come on.
Nobody ever claimed otherwise. Like,
yeah,
like
You kind of did.
This is a complete straw man to my point. I never said that it was easy in the dating market. My question is, why do you want to make it even harder?
I'm not making it harder.
Promiscuity. Why would you want to make it harder?
Because I'm in the soup and I'm just swimming it. That's
what?
That's what it is, man.
Okay, you know what? Y'all have a good night.
Likewise, I'm gonna end too. I allowed this to be going for quite some time.
Yeah, go ahead and end it, bro.
Yeah, you're right, dude.
I appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, we can do this again tomorrow or another time.
Yeah.
Like to continue this. It's like 5
Later,
a.m.
man.
All right, good night.
It's 2 a.m. in California.
Yeah. East Coast. Have a good night.